Here. All right. Yo. Huddle up. This is D1 Bound Podcast. My name is Patrick Odedina.
It's your co-host Brian Ford.
And today our guest, Silas Red. I mean, this guy got a whole background. Listen, from King High School, King and Low, something high school. It's a long name. King School, out in Connecticut. Then stopped off at Penn State.
Couple years.
Went over to USC.
So
I heard it's
little transfer.
Little transfer. I heard it's kind of crazy over there.
Coast to coast.
And then, I mean, we mostly talking about the student-athlete experience here. So we're going to talk about, kind of your progressions going through all those different stops.
For sure.
But obviously, we can't leave out my man, although undrafted, he stopped off at the Washington Redskins. That's in the NFL, if y'all ain't know that. And then it's kind of crazy, but my man also played professional rugby out in Australia. I'm sorry, but he was wild.
So long story short, he's legally.
He was legally. He was a couple leagues.
I was
couple leagues. So, welcome to the show. Appreciate you coming out here, bro.
We're happy to have you taking that flight out here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all for
Thanks so much. So, again, I'm not sure if you saw. This is episode 2 of our show.
Yep.
Episode 1, we had Rashad Slowly, who
Shotty.
Shotty. But like I said, we were going through a lot of his experiences just as a student athlete, kind of like, how he started playing football. Obviously, you play football as well. So, how he started playing football, that going through like Pee-wee or elementary school, middle school, kind of wherever you started at. Then how you went from high school over to college, what that was like from college over to the next level. He didn't exactly play pro, you did, so it's going to be a little bit different of a story.
Yeah.
But the show isn't just for football players. Again, we call it D1 Bound because at one point you were D1 Bound. Everybody who played a sport at some point probably said they were D1 Bound. I can tell you I lied and said I was at one point too as well. But we appreciate you here. And like I said, we just want to put these stories out there because obviously a lot of people hear a lot of things on the news, on the ESPN, from their friends. So we wanted to know, especially, from the schools that you went, which everybody knows of Penn State, everybody knows of USC, but even for those people who don't know about it, kind of give them an insight of what that was like and, what it took for you to get there.
For sure, man.
All right.
Take you through the whole thing.
Thank you. So, first thing, if you could just walk us through, if you had an athletic resume, what that looks like. Walk us through that.
Athletic resume. I probably start with high school. So, high school All-American, All League.
Keep going.
Years.
All the accolades.
Yeah, all New England, 3 years. Went to Penn State sophomore year. Played as a freshman. Sophomore year. Second team All Big Ten.
Big Ten. That's like a big conference.
It's solid.
Bro. It's solid. All right. It's not bad.
It's not bad, right? It's not SEC, but it's up there. Transferred. After we're gonna get into that.
Right.
Why the transfer and everything like that. But after that, I went over to USC. Dealt with some injuries, grass is always not greener type of thing, whatever, you want to say, but still managed to get Pac-12 all honorable mention, so we did that. And
so you were honorable is what you saying?
Noble.
Heard you. Noble. All right.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Facts.
Right.
Then, went on to the league, played as a rookie, started all 4 special teams, played in all 16 games, or actually 15. I had a bus accident. We're going to get into that. I didn't play in 1 game. So
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't even know about this.
I know.
So I'm looking forward to hearing that.
All right. We're going to get into that.
All right.
I played in those levels and managed to have some accomplishments and memorable moments in all those levels. So, I guess that would be my little resume if I had to put one together.
Your little resume. All right. And You know what? You left off the rugby part, but that's fine. We're gonna get into that later.
Okay, yes,
See,
yeah,
that means you lying on your resume. You get in trouble for that. Right?
Definitely do.
So, you know, when did you your resume? You started at high school. When did you get like good at football? Like, you know, when did you feel like this is easy?
This is easy, man. I guess Pop Warner. I was an aggressive kid, right? So I was more aggressive than the average, like 6, 7-year-old. So I was out there really trying to smack shit. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Smack. Okay.
Yeah.
What you was smacking out there?
Nah, chill.
I don't know what you were talking about, so you gotta elaborate. You know what I'm saying? Well, you was so obviously you saying Pop Warner, you out there, you being aggressive, but when did you pick like the running back position? Did you play like other positions or like what were you doing?
I played defense first. Like that was my shit. I was defense, linebacker. I just love to hit. My nigga, I was very aggressive, everything like that.
So, question though, were you hitting, or you were just hitting?
No, I was striking.
You striking.
My cousin over there played with me. He tell you he not just vouching because he's my cousin.
All right.
You know.
Well, that's your cousin, so I'm still not believing you.
Yeah, I know. We got tape. I showed tape at the break. Yeah,
okay. I appreciate that. All right.
But no, I played a lot of defense, and I love defense. So I guess the switch probably came around middle school. Middle school, I started really switching.
Doing a running back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about 6th grade.
And was there like a reason for that? You know, how did you just go from defense to now playing offense? Being
I played
a running back?
offense. You know what I mean? I played offense when I was younger. I scored. I made my touchdowns and stuff like that. But I was primarily a defensive player, and I guess I don't know what made the switch or whatever. But They put me at running back. You know what I mean? They put me at running back, and it worked out. And so I just stuck with it. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I just stuck with it.
Got it. So, I mean, at some point in your life, you know, probably when you were, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, football wasn't the first thing. You, I don't know, playing video games or you doing something else. Do you remember when football became, like, really important to you and, like, kind of like a focus?
Shit, bro, young.
Yeah.
Young, bro. Probably like 9. Where it became a focus, and I kid you not, it sounds crazy, you know, but probably 9.
I mean, that makes sense because obviously you played in the NFL, so you probably playing this for a long time. Yeah. I didn't play basketball until I was like 12, 13, so obviously
now you stunting.
That's why I'm stuck
here.
I played. It was a different level.
Doesn't matter.
Brian played.
Doesn't matter.
Brian played too, so we're like ex-athletes. But
I played a little bit.
We know we played a little bit. But okay, so like 9, that's you like already thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
So I mean, you were going through high school, and obviously then you're 13, 14 years old. You're already like a running back. That's your one position.
Solidified.
You know, what would you say was your experience playing in high school, or just like high school in general for you? Like, were you a regular student? Or were you like the superstar in the school? What was that like?
It was 3 of us. It was my man over there, my man Wink, myself, and our man Kevin Pierre Lewis. He plays for the Jets now.
Shout out KPL.
Shout out KPL. We all went to high school together, and it was us 3, bro. And that trio, we were, you know, I wouldn't say superstars, but we were the best players on the team. We always were together, shit like that. We got in trouble, you know. We all got in our fair share of trouble. I definitely got in trouble a lot in high school.
Why were you getting in trouble?
Man, why not?
You tell me. I can't imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, you from Connecticut, so maybe the reason you were getting in trouble were different reasons than I was getting in trouble.
That's true.
So you tell me, like, was it like just not going to class? Were y'all getting in fights? Or what was going on?
We went to a private school, so it was dress code.
Oh, the high school was a private school?
Yeah, it was a private school, so we all got scholarships. Kevin and I from Norwalk, Connecticut. Wink's from Stanford. We all got scholarships to attend the school.
All right, so question, because the scholarships that you got to this high school, were they because you played football? Or
athletic scholarships.
They were
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So a family would fund your tuition for however long you're there, with starting middle school or high school, whatever. They fund your tuition. So
it's not bad.
Nah,
I need to find one of those 20 years. When I gotta put my,
for sure.
When I have a kid, I gotta put him in high school.
Yeah, I'm trying to set
Nico
him
into
up
one
crazy.
of those.
So So yeah, that's how we got there. But you know, like I said, getting in trouble. Just we urban kids, you know, we in this place where it's kind of, we don't know where we are, and it's different from where we grew up and shit like that.
You were living in Norwalk?
Yep.
Where was the high school? I'm sorry.
Stanford.
It was in Stanford. So that's like a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say a rich area, but
North Stanford is. It's in North Stanford.
So I used to work in Stanford. I had a job in Stanford, but it was very much like, it was corporate, if that made sense. It was corporate. It was a lot of, like, it almost felt like everybody was like 25, 28 years old, young, you know what I mean, doing their thing. So, okay, so you were going to school in Stanford, and that's just like a different crowd. You kind of felt like out of place, or?
With the demographic. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Kids that look like us is few and far between at that school, you know what I mean? So, just being around those people,
was it all boys?
You had to stick together.
We had to. You know, is what we used to, is our comfort level, our comfort zone. Obviously, we had friends that went to the school, but we stuck together. And sometimes, you know, we rowdy, we get into trouble, whether it be fighting or just doing dumb shit at lunch, shit like that. So we were good students, but we got into our trouble.
Got it. So you were a good student, like, because obviously last time when we were speaking with Rashad, he was saying, like, from an athletic standpoint, he was talented and he put the work in. He was physically there, but he wasn't able to get into Division I school
because of his grades.
Because of his grades. So he played Division II, but he was recruited by a couple of Division I programs. So for you, you got into a Division I program. So your grades were, like, would you say, like, pretty good, or what were they like? If you could tell me, like SATs, whatever. Yeah, GPA, SATs.
SAT, I got like a, what was it, out of 2,400, I got like a
24,
yeah, I got like 16 something.
Oh, so you was smart. All right.
Yeah, when I apply myself,
like
when I apply myself, for
when
sure,
you
bro.
Apply yourself.
When I apply myself.
Okay.
But I got caught for plagiarism and shit like that, just being lazy. Because of lazy. It wasn't because I couldn't do the work.
I literally just told a story about my plagiarism episode while I was in college.
Yeah,
thinking
bro.
I'm gonna get kicked
I got
out
caught
of
in college too.
Okay.
Thought I was gonna get kicked out of school too.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into that. But I got caught. I got caught for plagiarism my junior year, and I got suspended for a month. Yeah, I got suspended for a month.
Wait, you got suspended for a month for plagiarism?
Yeah. It wasn't my first time getting you know, in trouble in school though. So they was tired of my shit. I got ISS and all type of shit. So I got suspended for a month for plagiarism. So it wasn't because I couldn't do the work. I would procrastinate and being a dickhead.
Got it. So when we start talking about football, because that was a lot of like athletic stuff, I know your senior year, when I look it up on Rivals or Scouts or whatever, they have you down as like a 5-star recruit, which obviously means you're talented. Like, you're good at what you do, at being a running back.
Yeah, you know, we got a couple stats over here.
Yes, it's a lot of stats.
So
now this.
Yeah, what you have over there?
I feel like as a running back for the position, that 100-yard mark is kind of what separates.
It's a good game.
You know, like the guys that like can kind of play and ones that are around. Right?
I agree.
So as a sophomore, you average. As a sophomore, you average 120 yards a game.
Wow. So you were above average.
As a junior, it was 150 a game.
Getting better each year.
$150.
We get to senior year, that goes to 240 a game.
Wait, he was. I didn't know that he was averaging 240 yards.
Averaging 240 a game.
Wait, how many yards is on a football field?
There's 100 yards on the football field.
So you were just running back and forth.
No,
like once they blew the whistle, you were basically doing laps.
Nah, you got to chill.
Because did your high school have a track around the football field? Yeah. Mine had a track. So you were just running laps, is what you were saying.
Yeah,
that's different. That's kind of crazy.
By the time you were senior, you #1 running back in Connecticut. #4 in the country. Coming out of Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's a good state too.
And
South Connecticut.
And you talked about how like clearly there was a little bit more pressure for you to be a student at the school, and they held you accountable for your actions.
Definitely did.
How do you feel like you were able to maintain that balance?
Shit, I think it comes from the home. You know what I mean? My mother was on my shit. My dad, when he wasn't on his shit, he was on my shit. Yep. You know, My older brother, of course, was on my shit. So, you know, I had a great support team. So if I did slip, and I was bound to slip. We all slip, right? But the people around you, you know, they matter, you know. So I had great people around me, great friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could say if your dad was my dad, I'm not slipping, cause
right.
He got the strongest handshake of all time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
and that's what he's greeting people.
The strongest handshake.
Right.
So I couldn't imagine.
That's what he's like. Yo, what's up?
Listen, I couldn't imagine if I talked back or it said something crazy, what that was gonna turn into.
Yeah, I got my ass whooped. Got my ass whooped.
Yeah, I'm sure he kept you in line.
For sure. Okay. For sure. Which is why I think I sort of kind of rebelled out too, because when my parents got a divorce, that shit, it fucked me up. For sure, you know, personally, I can't speak for my siblings, but for me, it hit me hard. So I kind of was a rebellious soul, going through puberty, hitting my teenage years and shit like that. I was more rebellious than I probably should have been, you know, for what was going on in my life and shit like that. So,
how old were you then when they got through the divorce?
I was 13.
13.
So, you know, I was right in that transition stage, you know what I mean?
My parents are divorcing right now.
Yeah.
Right now, 28. Right now. I don't even mind it. I'm glad, going through it too.
Yeah. My parents actually got remarried, so shout out to them. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so it ended up working out. But so yeah, bro, just the people that I had around me, they kept me in line when I slipped. For sure. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, obviously you were just amazing at football when we're talking about you in high school, and that's kind of what got you into college and playing at some premier elite programs. But I mean, what was recruitment like for you? Like, when did you start hearing from these schools, these universities? Like, did you first get a couple of letters from a couple D2 schools, and then you got better that turned into D1 schools? Yeah. Walk us through kind of, you know, was it sophomore year, junior year? You know, what was your first letter? What was your first, hey, I'm Coach so-and-so?
Got you. Yeah. So even before that, my older brother got recruited. D3, D2 schools, D1 AA, some HBCUs. But so I saw at a young age what recruitment was kind of like, and I was like, damn, like that seems crazy. He's 8 years older than me, but I still was able to like sift through it all and see what was going on. Fast forward to when I'm start getting recruited. Like you mentioned, I'm from Connecticut, right? So small ass state, not really known for football or anything like that. You know what I mean? A hoop state, if you want to call it that, where UConn and shit like that. But we had to go to camps, bro. Camps was our thing. Like we had to go to those rivals camps, college camps
to get like recognition,
to get exposure and shit like that. You know, being from a small state.
So those camps, did you have to get invited there, or was like anybody could go?
Some were invitations. Most of them were anybody could go. You just pay the fee, or $20 whatever, $100 for the weekend, shit like that. Got it. So going into 8th grade, going into 9th grade, I went to the Penn State camp. And just.
What year was that?
That was 06.
06, okay.
06. So that was my first taste of like college and what a campus was like and shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For myself.
Right.
So we get there and I start like turning heads, shit like that, but I'm young, they can't really talk to me so much, but they ask me my year, where I'm from, shit like that. Right. So I'm catching their eye. I go to Rutgers camp, same thing. UVA camp, same thing. So I'm starting to get my name out there. Sophomore year, the football season comes around. Summer going into sophomore year, we start going to camps again, more recognition, more exposure. Sophomore year, I have a good year. So junior year comes, I can get recruited. It's all game. The coaches can talk to me, everything like that.
Junior year, you can. You're saying you can. So it's legal for you to get recruited
to get an offer.
So just curious, because I've even heard of like kids in like 8th grade. They're just really good, and they've gotten offers from these schools.
Yeah.
So you're saying now but it's legal for you to get in 11th grade. Is there like a difference?
I'm 10 going on 11 years removed from when I got my first offer. You know what I'm saying? So recruitment might have changed.
Okay. All right.
From then.
Okay.
So I'm strictly speaking from
yourself.
From my experience.
Got it.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
in your head, you couldn't get recruited before you were in 11th grade.
I couldn't get offered.
Couldn't get offered.
I couldn't get offered. I shouldn't say recruited. I couldn't get offered.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So, summer going into junior year, end of sophomore year, we're at the Boston College's camp.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
The two I had mentioned before, Wink and Kevin, everybody, we out there, we're doing our thing.
Yep.
And that's when a day into the camp, I received my first official offer from a Division I college. You know what I'm saying? Boston College, they offered Kevin, myself, that's that day, after we had finished up and shit like that. So I'm like, damn, now it's no, like, I'm going to a Division I college.
Wait,
like,
so
even
you
if
got
I
the
don't
offer,
get it.
that was like a letter or like what?
No, they just verbally offered.
They verbally offered. And it's like a full ride?
Full ride, $250,000 tuition paid.
Okay.
So, you know, that was a blessing. You know, I come from, you know, lower middle class family, but we're not rich. You know what I'm saying? So having someone else pay for my education was a blessing. You feel me? So
it's amazing.
You know,
let's get straight. It's amazing.
Yeah. So that was a blessing, bro. So it was a grind to get that shit. So many camps and shit like that. It was a fucking grind. But once we got it, it only created more hunger, and that's where the 150 to 240 yards came from. That's where the extra grind and shit like that came from. That's where, you know.
So that's where you get the 240 yards a game.
That's where the 240 came from.
So going to these camps, like, and coming from Connecticut, which one of the few states that doesn't have a pro team in any sport. For football, you know, you've got, if you see a kid with stats and he's from Florida, you know he's real. Yeah. You see a kid with stats and he's from Texas, you know he's real. Did you feel like you had a chip on your shoulder? Because even though you had the stats, you felt like, because you're from Connecticut, people weren't taking you serious?
Yes, bro. Absolutely.
And how did that help drive you when you were going through these tournaments? I mean, I'm sorry, these camps.
It was everything. It was everything, bro, because I'm seeing, you know, I'm reading this shit.
Right.
I'm reading this shit every single day.
Yeah.
My pops is reading this shit. He in my ear with this shit. Yeah. And I'm mad.
Right.
I'm mad, bro. I'm pissed off because I'm like, I'm better.
Right.
I know I'm better, right? So we get to these camps and I can see these kids in person. I see these other dudes in person, and I'm like, it's go time, bro. You know, this shit just clicks.
Right.
That switch, it just goes on. So, that being there with those kids that had all the hype,
right,
and out battling them in every drill, like that's what it was all about for me. Even at that age, it was all about all of us.
Did you feel that kind of pressure when you were talking to coaches too? Like, because obviously they go from city to city, state to state. Could you tell that their energy was a little bit different too in the way they were talking to you and the questions they were asking, the things they needed to see out of you before they were ready to have those real conversations?
Yeah, and you can peep that energy, bro. Even that young, well, I could.
Right.
You know, I can't speak for every kid.
But you got different vision. You got the third eye.
That's that third eye.
So you can see things we can't see. You know what I'm saying? So
I peep the bullshit, bro.
You see it coming, all right.
Yeah. But
you know me.
Facts. But yeah, so I did see through the bullshit with the coaches. But what was tough, to sift through was the reporters.
Right.
These reporters that wrote for Rival, wrote for Scout. You know, they weasel in to make you feel like they're your friend and shit like that, just to get inside information of where you think you might be going. They set these blogs up and shit like that. And,
this is at 13, 14, 15.
So it's crazy because even to this day, like
I can't even imagine.
I end up being on like Scout or like Rival site.
Right.
Like even if I'm just looking at like a Zion Williamson, right? When we're trying to figure out where he's going to college, or like these other kids, right? And when you go to their page, if they're like not committed, they got the bars where it's like, all right, he got an offer from Duke, he got an offer from Kentucky, from Louisville, from Miami, and it's like 43% chance he's
Right.
going to Kentucky, 30% chance he's going to Duke, 5% chance he's going
crazy.
here. So it's like somebody is looking at all of this from a high school kid
Right.
and figuring it out. So you're saying like the reporters actually seeing you in person and they're trying to like pick your brain, like, because you're not committed yet, and they're trying to like figure this out
through text messages. That's what I'm saying. As a kid, you so willing, like like being on Rivals and Scout and these websites, like that's a trophy to kids. Like,
It
you
is.
know what I'm saying? It's a trophy.
I was never
bro.
on any of those sites.
It's
I'm
a
telling
fucking
you now,
trophy.
right
I'm
now.
telling you.
You got to remember, like, this is way back.
There's no, bro.
There's no like,
social media like
they're not
that.
posting you on the Instagram. They're not tweeting
It's no
you.
gram, bro.
It's you either on the site or you in the paper.
Period, my nigga.
That's it.
Period, bro.
Yep.
Even if it's the local paper.
Absolutely, bro. It was a thing. It was a huge deal, bro. So, it was trying to get in with them. And on top of that, those are the guys, like, they have a say in whether you're All-American or not, whether you're at the Army Bowl, the Under Armour Bowl, like, all the ill shit, like, they have a say in it.
I wish I could relate.
And quiet as kept, like, quiet as kept, those are the people that could speak on your behalf to the coaches.
Bro.
I feel like that's what people forget. Like, back then, they served as that buffer. Like, if you can't talk to the coach, the reporters damn sure can.
Did, and then you didn't know what type of gas they were putting on it, like, whether they were lying or what.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, even as like I said, even though I knew that was the end, it was hard to like not disconnect from the fact that you had to know they were on some shady shit too.
Like we said, like, you 13, 14, 15
Right,
years old.
bro.
Like,
Young,
these are grown
naive.
are grown men that at this point they're doing this for a living.
Naive.
They're
bro.
doing it, they're getting paid for it. Their job is to establish that relationship with you, get that access, manipulate you however they want, because they know they can. They know what it means to you if at the end of the day you're like, damn, I was just talking to so-and-so reporter for a half hour. He says like I got a shot.
Right. That's exactly.
And meanwhile,
it.
he could go
That's
to the
exactly
next.
it.
He could go to the next guy and be like, "Yeah, I talked to the red kid. Like, he might be all right, but you know, I told him he's got a shot, so he's in a bag." It's crazy.
Shit like that, bro.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
So you're talking about Boston College being like your first offer,
verbal
all right?
offer,
And that was junior year, early junior year.
Yeah,
you're saying,
so
or going into junior year.
That was 08.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously
07.
you out there, you playing junior year. You say you average like 150 yards a game. Next year you average like 240. You know, then after Boston College, what did it look like? Are you getting letters from every single school, or like, you know, maybe the major schools that were really putting in that effort? The coaches are trying to visit you, this and that. You know, what was going on with that your junior year, senior year?
So Boston College was heavy.
Okay.
They wanted me bad. UVA was heavy. Penn State was heavy. Ohio State, they offered me as a defensive back. I didn't want to play defensive back.
Okay.
Stanford offered me, but they told me that my grades weren't good enough, so they were dubbed out.
It's like Harvard offering you. What's the point, right?
Yeah, what's the point? So I had offers. Michigan offered me, so the offers started coming in, right?
Are all of these full rides?
Full rides.
All of them are full rides.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could go to a lot of different schools if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I gotta rewind a little bit before junior year. Right after junior year. So we same timeline. I went to this National Underclassmen Combine.
Okay.
And that's the precursor to the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, right? It's the combine for it. All the juniors fly out to San Antonio the week of the All-American game and go through all the drills, 40 position drills, shit like that.
So this combine, though, is it just like... Because I know that the NFL combine is like for guys who are coming out of college, that they're just getting measured how fast they are, how strong they are, how agile they are, that kind of thing. So for this underclassmen combine that you're talking about, is this for basically high school guys that are trying to get into different universities, different colleges?
It's for literally underclassmen, so juniors and special sophomores going into senior year.
All right.
So senior year is that year. Obviously, all the shit happens, right? You get all your offers. It's
making your
letter of
decisions.
intents, it's you making your decisions, shit like that. So it's a big deal in the high school world. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that combine is the precursor to your senior year, basically.
Got it.
So I went down there, get the invite to that shit. I'm in South Carolina on my grandmother's farm type shit, like just enjoying family time. My pop gets a call from one of the rivals, dude, Mike Farrell. I'll never forget that dude. He called my pops, told me that they wanted me at the combine, so they got shit together. However they did, we got a flight and got out there. I ended up doing my thing, so that put me on. The map to
okay.
A cliche way to say it. But,
nah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. But do you remember kind of you said a bunch of schools, the Michigans, that everybody was offering you. I guess when did you start thinking, because you started getting offers junior year and then senior year, I guess is the big year, that's your best year in high school. When do you start kind of figuring like, all right, I need to make a decision, I got to weigh these different things out. When did you start figuring out like, all right, I need to pick where I'm going to go to college?
Shit, bro, I committed before my senior season.
Before your senior season?
Yeah. I committed May of my junior year to Penn State.
And that loyalty, we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to that.
Yes, we are, bro. We really, really are.
But I remember reading that for you, especially because it was Paterno, that was a big deal for you. Like you wanted it to be known, like I'm committing because I want to be here. I'm in it for the long haul.
And play for this guy.
This is who I want to play for. This is where I want to be. This is a dream come true. I'm putting it all out there, and I'm still gonna.
A Penn State fan.
You did this, and then still turned up senior year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were other schools that, even though they probably shouldn't have been talking to you, they were trying to get you away from that commitment.
Right.
And you still stuck with it.
Right.
What was that like? After you had laid down your commitment, what type of energy were you getting from other schools that you kind of looked away from?
I mean, Penn State was inviting me up so much, bro.
Right.
After you committed?
After I committed, you know what I'm saying? I was taking the homies, like, it was love, you know what I'm saying?
Dinners and all that? Like, I don't know.
Like, it was like unofficial visits officially, like, you know what I'm saying? You heard me? So it was good. Like, we'd go to the games, have tickets, and like you said, dinners and stuff like that.
So you knew, like, 100% you were going to
yeah,
Penn
bro.
State.
There was no way. And I entertained schools, and I didn't, I believe in karma and whatever you put in the earth and, all that shit. So I could have played these schools and got an official visit out of these schools, not, played with them and toyed with the fact I was going to Penn State, even though in my heart I knew I was going to Penn State, bro.
Right.
I knew I was going to Penn State. I could have been like, yo, USC, like, let me get an official visit, get this free flight and all that shit. But I didn't. I took one official visit to the school I was going to. And that was that, bro. I was over the recruiting shit. I was over it, bro. It's a fucking headache. That's what people don't understand.
Question, because he was asking about, like, where your head was at. You committed before your senior year.
Yeah.
Because I hear about people who will commit to a school and then decommit and then go to another school. Now, like, campus. So obviously when you commit, you have to, like, sign, like, a contract to go to school, or like what is a commit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First of all,
that's the thing. It's a verbal commit before signing day. Everything is a verbal commit. So everything is a handshake deal. It's not anything on paper. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't respect handshake deals, you know what I'm saying?
Got it. But your dad, he probably taught you because of how strong his handshake was.
It's a deal.
If you shake hands, listen, it's a deal, or I'm breaking your hand.
It's a deal. I'm breaking.
All right. Okay. All right.
So yeah, I was locked in, bro. Like I said, they were bringing me up there so much that I felt a part of the campus. I felt I was going there already.
Okay.
Not to mention that I graduated early, so I can start early at Penn State. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Wait, when did you graduate?
I left December.
After 3 years?
No, I left December of my senior year. Yeah, 3.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I started Penn State January.
You got a semester under your belt, get some credits and everything.
Get some credits, get spring ball under my belt.
Oh.
That was huge. That was huge. I'd probably say that's the reason I played my freshman year. Because I went up there early.
So just thinking about that, because you're saying, like, all right, you gave a verbal commit, but going back to, like, the committing and the people who, like, decommit from schools, can you decommit only like if it's not signed yet, like on a contract, or like can you sign to a school, like you sign an actual agreement? You know what I mean? Is it just the handshake that people are breaking when they decommit from a school? Is that what you're saying? So, but like if you actually sign and like say like yes, I'm going to school, you probably gotta fill out like financial aid.
Yeah, for sure.
Paperwork.
For sure.
After you do that, are you like kind of stuck with the school?
In a sense. So if you want to transfer at the point of after you sign, I don't know the exact logistics of it, but I'm pretty sure after you sign, if you want to transfer,
you gotta sit out a year,
unless you go down a level, you gotta sit out a year.
Got it.
You gotta sit out a year.
Got it.
So
okay.
So what the guys, to get back to what you were asking, what the guys are doing are breaking just the handshake deals, just the verbal commitments. You can break that. It is what it is.
Which I mean, we don't do that, but
some people,
it's not that important.
It's gravy.
All right, very well. So, you know, specifically talking about Penn State, you knew at a young age. I mean, you're going from junior year to senior year, probably 16, maybe 17, something like that. You're already stuck. That's kind of like where you're going, right? Obviously, we know Penn State kind of went through a lot of controversy, a lot of turmoil, crazy stuff that was going on there. Now, thinking back, was that already kind of out there? Was that in the news? Did you know anything about that when you were already going to Penn State?
Absolutely not, bro.
No?
Not a thing. Not
a
thing.
So how did you find out that, like, wow, Penn State, this is kind of crazy? And just for, you know, anybody who might be listening or watching that doesn't know about it, apparently Jerry Sandusky, who was a old assistant coach to the football team, I believe he stopped coaching there sometime in the 90s. So he wasn't even there when you were there.
99, I believe.
Something like that. He had a crazy, terrible spree where he was sexually abusing kids that were coming to like football camps and that were in different types of programs on the Penn State campus. So in effect, because of him doing that, there were a lot of violations that went directly onto the Penn State football team, like a loss of scholarships, loss of ability to play in championship and bowl games, and I believe a suspension of the head coach Joe Paterno because of
his knowledge,
because of him not because he didn't handle that situation, or he wasn't in control of his, because he wasn't in control, or they fired him. Okay, so there was a lot that happened to Penn State University because of Jerry Sandusky and what he did to, you know, a lot of kids, and he was convicted of this, so it's not alleged. He was convicted of doing these things. Sure. Terrible person. Do not free Jerry Sandusky. Keep him. You know what I'm saying? Keep Jerry Sandusky. Free everybody else. Keep Jerry Sandusky. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So he was doing a lot of crazy stuff.
Sure.
Right. Listen, free the bros, but keep Jerry. Free Bobby. Free George. Free my brother, but keep Jerry.
My goodness,
so specifically, that was a lot of stuff that was going crazy. I just heard about it because I watched ESPN. I checked the news and stuff like that. Yeah. So what year was it that you committed to Penn State?
2008.
2008. You started actually going to Penn State in
2010, January 2010.
January 2010. You're a student. Okay.
And this is a big deal because we talking top 10 in the country.
Huge school.
This isn't like, oh yeah, you lose bowl eligibility and you a school that's like on the verge playing in the
it's an amazing football team.
Northwest New Mexico.
We playing Alabama.
Valley,
we playing
Fiesta Bowl, right? Like this is big time.
Yeah.
This is, oh yeah, you might miss out on a national championship.
Yeah.
What was that like when that news hit the program?
I remember we were all sitting, you know, it was coming up on the news, breaking news that, you know, we're about to get our, you know, the disciplinary actions, whatever. So we all in the players' lounge and shit, watching the TVs, and they just started running through what we get. The press conference starts and they just start running through what we get hit with, and I just got up and left, bro.
Wait, so
And that's the
when you
picture.
say the press conference, like you're actually at the press conference or you're watching on TV?
No, we watching the press conference.
You're watching on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're finding out on the news like
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah, like everybody else.
That's kind of crazy.
Everybody found out that way though.
That's crazy because you know like how people like in the league they play basketball in the NBA or like
They
play
got
football
the
in
inside
NFL
news
and like usually like maybe the like agent or the GM
got
will
the
tell them
scoop.
like listen we're trading
Got
you
the scoop,
or
yeah.
we're releasing you.
Yeah, nah.
But
none
like
of that.
so like you at Penn State. You don't know nothing. The coach, Paterno, the athletic director didn't tell you nothing. You're just watching ESPN or you're watching whatever, TBS, and it's like, listen,
all we know
Penn State is...
sorry to
it's
cut you
over
off.
for y'all.
It's over. Sorry to cut you off. We thought we knew we were about to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We were anticipating like the death penalty, what they
Right.
gave SMU, like
Right.
you know what I'm saying. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Death penalties, they kill programs. You know what I'm saying.
Terrible.
SMU was just getting back
Right.
to when they got the death
Right.
penalty. You know what I'm saying. And that was over 20 years ago. So we know we're getting in trouble. We just don't know what it's gonna be. So we're not totally blind, but we didn't know we were gonna get hit with everything we got hit with.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I just got up and I left, and there's a picture on Google and shit of, you know, the paparazzi outside of our facility,
Yep.
and us walking out, and I'm one of the first people out, and that's when we got those sanctions. That's that moment when I walked out of the building. We got that.
And I remember reading, like, right after all this happened, the team made an appearance to address the allegations. When it was all said and done, 9 of you transferred out.
Yeah.
You, as the guy on the team at that point, you were noticeably absent from that meeting. How soon, once it became known, I guess, that, all right, well, there's something going on if Silas isn't here,
Yeah.
did your phone start ringing?
Yeah.
How quickly did that happen?
Very fast.
Do you remember the
Very
first school that
fast.
reached out?
No, because they didn't reach out to me. They were calling my pops.
Okay, so this is something that I kind of wanted to figure out because obviously you transferred, what I'd say for a very good reason. Like you kind of had to. You were stuck in a very messed up place, right? But even like other people who like they might go and play at Ohio State and they were, you know, a top 5 recruit, but they don't get any playing time, right? They might transfer to another school for that reason, kind of thing. In my head, I'm like, all right, how do you just transfer to another school? Like, we're going from Ohio State, and we're just using an example, go to Oregon, right? That means Oregon was ready to take you in, right?
Yeah.
So you went from Penn State to USC. Now, were they kind of like talking to you before this whole Sandusky issue came out? Or how was it like you were ready, you know, and able to go over there?
So the sanctions hit, and so they weren't. I wasn't talking to anybody before the sanctions. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the conditions of the sanctions were you could transfer.
You could transfer everywhere
And play right away.
and play right away.
Right.
So
Where
niggas are
usually
like,
you have to
whoa.
sit out a year if you transfer
Right.
in
Exactly.
Division One.
Exactly.
Okay,
So that's a big deal.
right.
It's a huge deal. So once they told us that, that's when the calls started coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably, I guess recruitment opened back up again
Right.
in a
Yeah.
sense, right? So
Yeah.
you know
From what I read, going back to the stories, this is what 2012, 2013.
Yes, 2012.
So from what I read, it was open season,
OD.
and they're literally
Schools parked
like
out in front of the...
now
OD, bro. Like
the way that you were getting recruited when you were in high school is basically the same thing over
Right.
again.
times 10.
Times 10.
Because
Times 10, bro.
now they know you have the talent.
Times
true.
10, bro.
In high school, it's like, we like his potential.
Potential is potential, though, right?
But
It
now
could go
in
either way.
college, he's at a top
proven.
10 program. He's proven it. He's league.
Times
Yeah, I saw
10,
some
bro.
Penn State highlights. You were still running people over, and you were getting touchdowns, and the stadium was always packed. So it's not like you were scared to go to like another big school. You know what I mean?
No fear whatsoever. Bro.
I mean, we talking 100,000 fans a game.
Low key, high key, yeah.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, that's just and we talked about that loyalty aspect. Do you think if you would have gotten a little bit of a heads up, like, hey, like this is going down, you would have been more willing to work with them?
Yeah, bro, because yes, to answer your question, yeah, because they would have jumped out in front of it. I would have appreciated them being proactive about it,
right?
Because the damage control was too crazy when everything dropped,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But I think to cut them some slack to stall them out in a sense. I don't think they knew what the fuck to tell us.
Right.
They didn't know what to tell us, bro.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? We had all these questions, and they had no answers.
Mm-hmm.
No answers for us. So, yeah, bro. Everybody was blind. They didn't know what the hell was going on.
Can you recall what those days were like? Because we talking, there's coaches parked outside of the facilities. You've got the media everywhere. You've got your phone going off, whether it's people trying to contact you, your dad telling you like, "Yo, so and so's reaching out."
Nick
like
Saban, I just talked to Nick Saban.
Like, what were those? What were those first couple days like?
Well, the recruitment was crazy, bro. But just the shit on campus, like we didn't even get into the riots.
Right.
I mean, once
riots on Penn State campus.
Oh, bro, riots, full out riots.
Tell us about that.
Riots, bro. Flipping news camera vans, like everything. Once they announced,
so it's a revolution, and it was televised.
It was televised, bro. We was flipping the TV.
Okay, flipping.
Come on, flipping.
Right.
But so once we got the news that Joe was fired,
Joe Paterno
was fired. Best.
Jay Best, what's good, boy?
Best. That's the deal, baby. Once we get the news that Joe's fired, mayhem, all mayhem, bro. Like
it's a mess.
It's a mess. He's the darling. You know what I'm saying? Penn State. He is Penn State. You know what I'm saying? He's the reason I went there.
We are
Penn State. Bro.
Oh, so you still do that? I didn't think you still do that.
No, I'm not leaving that.
Okay.
You know, that's where I started and everything. You know what I'm saying? That was a chapter in my life.
I respect it.
A chapter in my life.
Okay. So you're saying the recruitment when, like, after the Penn State situation, like, you know, when they letting everybody transfer, you don't got to sit out a year. That's crazier than your high school situation, right?
Yeah.
So we know that you ended up at USC.
Yeah.
But what else happened between the time that you left? Like, you decided, all right, I'm leaving Penn State and I'm going to USC. Like, did you check out any other schools, or, you know, what happened?
Nah. So I'm getting calls from other schools and shit like that. I'm getting a lot of calls, but none of them are making me or giving me the feeling that I want to leave my school and go there.
What about it isn't like enticing you? Is it, you know, they just not telling you could start, or like the school isn't big enough, or what's wrong with it?
Yeah, you think you held yourself to a standard now, like, because truth be told, like, you kind of had the right to kind of show schools your ass. Like, listen, I'm top 10.
Yeah.
And we talk about D1 bound. You at the point where, hey, listen, I'm league bound, and if you're not helping me get there, there's nothing we got to talk about.
Yeah.
How do you think your mindset changed? Because we talked about before, you kind of getting gassed by the reporters growing up because you don't know any better. Now at this point, you're 4 or 5 years older. You've established yourself. You're a household name.
Yeah.
You're a kid that Saturday mornings across the country, people are tuned in and they know who you are. How do you think you approach that a little bit different? Because now, like I said, like you have the right to hang up on people if you want.
Yeah. I think, to my credit, pumping myself up, but I think I let my dad handle it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That helped.
Right.
I let my parents handle it. I didn't want to get any calls. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to deal with anything on my own.
Right.
I wanted him to do it, and I think that helped because he took the brunt of it, of the recruitment. He would just tell me about coaches who called or whatever,
right.
and keep me, you know, posted on everything, basically.
Right.
Let me be a student athlete. You know what I'm saying? I was still in school. Like, I'm, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm just out.
Right.
You know, so I think that helped a lot. And it wasn't until USC called where that really, like, I had to sit up. Just like I sat up just now.
Yeah.
That's what the USC call made me do. You know, so. Go ahead.
What and this is just out of me being naive. What was the visiting process and guidelines like once you were in this period where you were open to being able to transfer? There was no regulations on your eligibility once you transferred. Were you given X amount of visits again?
Yeah.
So it was pretty. You started with a clean slate.
It was recruitment all over again in every sense of the phase. Like, it was recruitment, bro.
And at this point, you the guy that every program wants.
A lot of programs want, bro.
Because like we talked about, you've established yourself. You've proven that you can do it at the highest of high levels.
Yeah. That year, I led October in the whole
country.
Whole country. I led October.
795 yards.
Yeah, a month of rushing. They called it Red October. So that's something I could put on my resume. That would be something I could put on my resume. So coming off that type of year.
So Kanye got to talk to you.
I low key wanted him. I don't now. He can keep him now.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Okay.
But back then, he could have hollered at me for sure.
So let's talk about this recruitment. Let's talk about these visits.
Yeah. Only took one.
Only one was USC.
Only needed one.
One take. That's it.
One take.
We here. So we here now.
So we here.
So
we here.
Coming out of high school, let's take a step back.
Yeah.
What officials did you take before you committed in high school?
Penn State.
That was it.
That was the only official visit I took. I visited schools.
All right. So, question, because you were leaving Penn State, they had a whole lot of crazy allegations, scandals going on, and you go to USC, which isn't the cleanest, quote unquote, cleanest program out there.
Yeah.
They had an issue with Reggie Bush. Yeah. And this and that.
But not just Reggie Bush. We talking OJ Mayo, too.
OJ Mayo, too. Well, I was going to leave him out of there.
Forgot about that.
He's a legend in my eyes, all right? So I was going to leave OJ Mayo out. But they had a whole crazy situation over there, which obviously, I don't care. It's not as bad as Jerry Sandusky being a nasty perv and all that stuff, bro. Right? I mean, you're talking about USC, where allegedly Reggie Bush, OJ Mayo, possibly some other people were like taking money or having agents, improper benefits, that kind of thing, right? So you go into this situation. Were you aware of that stuff that was going on already, or that happened already?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. And did that affect you at all in like making the decision to go there?
Nah, because the sanctions were over. You know, they did their little bit, however long it was. Mm-hmm. But I knew when that season that I was transferring over, 2012, everything was back to what it was supposed to be.
Sure.
Everything was fair game. So whatever happened in the past didn't affect me at all.
Got it.
Because I knew it wasn't a grown man fucking a boy.
All right.
You know, to be blunt about it, I don't mean to use that language.
I hear you. Know. We might edit that out,
yeah,
but
sorry.
I hear you. Listen,
yeah,
I respect it. Right.
Sorry.
No problem. But you know, specifically talking about with just at USC, you know, a lot of stuff going on at USC. You know, with people allegedly getting, you know, illegal benefits when it comes to NCAA. Not even illegal. This isn't stuff that we're talking about law. It's stuff that we're talking about
breaking rules
that the NCAA made up.
Right.
Do you recall any kinds of, you know, those allegations that were going on when you're either in high school or when you're in college and you were like leaving Penn State going to USC? Do you remember? It doesn't have to be stuff that maybe happened directly towards you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be from Penn State, from USC, but do you remember any of those kinds of things maybe people were offering you, people were telling you we could do this for you, you know, come to these schools?
Yeah, they offered me, schools will offer me certain things like that. They will offer my parents things. And, you know, I'm from Connecticut, bro, so I wasn't trying to mess up any chance of myself, you know, going to school for free or going to the NFL. Like,
right.
you know what I mean? So I didn't really, coming out of high school, I didn't take anything from any school or anything I wasn't supposed to.
So you didn't take anything. That means people was offering you things.
Yeah.
All right. Anything that you could potentially dig into, and you don't have to name names. You don't have to name schools.
Right. No,
if
so,
you want to,
yeah,
you
for
can.
Sure. No, for
but
sure.
again, listen, nobody watches our show, so you can say whatever you want to say on here. All right.
When he says that,
listen, nobody watches it. Nobody watches the show. So say what you guys say. You friends talking to friends.
Bro, we're lit. Can you just say we're lit though?
We all lit.
Oh,
that's a fact. No. That's a fact. We're lit. That's a fact.
Right now.
Just just wanted to make sure.
Floor's yours.
Okay, now, but just money, nothing crazy, but money, a couple thousand here and there.
When you say a couple thousand here and there, when you say nothing crazy attached to that, I'm sorry. If I'm in high school, I'm 17 years old. If somebody offers me $500, that is crazy.
Hindsight is 2020.
Listen, that is crazy. No, right. Not even hindsight. If I'm in high school and somebody says the word $500, I'm listening to what they gotta say.
So I'm smack, bro. I'm speaking as a 26-year-old.
Right.
So right now, that looking back, that money wasn't. It's not crazy. Like,
okay.
It's not lotto money.
No, it's not. It's not.
18, 17 years old, yeah, absolutely, bro.
Okay.
It was wild, crazy to get that type of. They wanted me to decommit from Penn State and go to their school. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. So they would offer like my parents like tickets. One of the schools was far from the crib, so they would offer my parents like tickets to come see me and shit like that.
That's all they was offering? To try to get you to go from Penn State?
Yeah.
Listen, if it's tickets, I'm gonna need Michael Jackson tickets.
No,
I'm gonna need Michael Jackson tickets.
We talking.
I'm gonna need Bobby
plane
Brown
tickets, some
in his
comfortable
prime.
plane
tickets. Plane tickets.
Oh, okay.
To be able to fly out to see your son
crazy.
every game is crazy, right?
Damn, that's crazy. So which school is that?
I don't know. Now look.
So again, all right. So yeah,
I'll say this. It was a Big East school.
A Big East school.
Yeah. No. Not a big. No, yeah, it was a Big East school. So I want to say the school. So
listen, I'm telling you, literally nobody watches our show, bro. Like, so this is your one time. Imagine you in church. You with the priest right now. Pause, because that gets crazy too sometimes.
That does get crazy,
right? But I mean, it's fine. We want you to be comfortable. So it was, some
the school was in Ohio. I'll just say that. I'll say that.
It was in Ohio.
It was in Ohio.
And it was in the Big East.
And it was in the Big East.
All right, so we looked that up.
Yo, shout out SK.
Wait, is that Cincinnati?
Yo, shout out SK.
Yo, Brian, I'm listening, Brian.
My man, SK.
Is that Cincinnati?
My man,
Shout out SK.
Listen, all right. Wow, I didn't even know that they had money to be giving out like that. But apparently they need to call me. But
me
wow,
too.
okay.
Call me back.
Call me back. Right. Okay, so those things apparently did happen, and you saw them happening firsthand. Yeah. But I guess when they did happen, if some school or some coach or some assistant coach, booster, or whatever, is saying, "Listen, we could do this for you," like blah blah blah. Did that ever make you, or if you're saying, what were they talking to you, or were they talking to your parents? When they were offering those kinds of things, those illegal things.
Yeah, it was back and forth. Sometimes my pops and shit would get offered something like that.
Did they make y'all feel like did those offers, when it's illegal, they make you feel like uncomfortable? Like, damn, I gotta like hide away from this.
It was a little awkward. You know what I'm saying? Just because I knew it was against the rules. I knew we weren't supposed to be talking about that type of thing. But then again, money comes into it when you don't see money like that. You talking nice, So it was, we didn't go in there. We wasn't shaking or nothing. We're talking to them, but.
And I mean, honestly, I was never offered any kind of money when I was coming out of high school. So I realized I'm not that good. You know what I'm saying? But if I was that good, I probably was getting those type of offers.
You also had to have been a little jaded, right? Because
sure.
You on the verge of transferring out of a program that was hit with arguably the worst accusations when it comes to a Division I football program in history.
Yeah.
So the last thing you want is in the midst of leaving that situation where you given the rare chance to just escape that scot-free, you get hit with something tagged to your name. So you said that you only took one visit.
Yep.
Do you think part of you just wanted to get it over with, and it just so happened that USC was the team that came and called and did everything that they needed to do to get you out there and get that visit, and that was all you needed? Because I feel like there got to be some kids that milk that whole process and wanna get pimped out by all these schools because it's for the look.
Yeah.
They want to say like, oh yeah, I'm going to Oregon this year. I'm in this week, or I'm going to Stanford next week. Like, they care about that look. What do you think separated you from those kids that you just say like, listen, I just want to get this shit over with. I want to get to the school I want to get to. This is the program I want, and now I'm good.
Cause bro, I was grateful, bro. And
Right.
I worked for that shit. I really worked for it. Like, it didn't come. I don't know, bro. It didn't come. Yes, I was God gift. You know,
Right.
God gave me gifts and stuff like that. But like I said, bro, I'm from Connecticut.
Yep.
It wasn't given to me at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far as recruitment, as far as exposure. So these looks I got from these schools, I earned that shit. You
Right.
know what I mean? I felt that shit. And I wasn't there to play around, and
Right.
you know, it wasn't about the visits and shit
Right.
like that for me. You know, it was really about football, and that's how I treated it for a long time.
So I'm happy you ended it with that, saying it's about football, because earlier I said we were going to come back to the loyalty aspect of it.
Yeah.
You committed early, did your thing at Penn State. While you were on campus, you were active on campus to the point where the school knew that you were in it for the long haul. You were there for Penn State. You were given an opportunity to transfer because of shit that was out of your control. You decide to go to USC, and then the death threats start coming through. And again, you 19, 20 years old. The same people that were singing your praises, and now we got to remember, this is when Twitter first started coming out.
Man.
So now everybody who
Got a
before
voice. Everybody got a
before
voice.
just had, they could just catch you on campus. Now they know
They
how
can
to
catch me in my dorm room,
how
they
to
can
tweet
catch
you.
me,
They know
yeah.
exactly where you're at. Like,
Yep. All
what was that
access.
like? And do you remember the first one that came through?
No, because it was a wave, bro. As soon as everybody got the news, as soon as I had the meeting with the new head coach,
Yep.
Coach O'Brien, Coach Bill O'Brien, who's now the coach of the Texans, he's told me some crazy shit.
Right.
That meeting, but we can get into that later. But once everybody got the alert that I was transferring, it was a wave, bro. Text messages, tweets,
Right.
mentions, like, started going crazy.
So it's funny because we talk about how there's a fine line between what it is that athletes deserve, right? So on one hand, we talked about how there are schools that they got to know how valuable you are because they're offering this bread under the table. So when it comes down to whether or not student athletes should get paid, these schools and these coaches know that you guys are worth it because they're offering it.
Right.
When we talk about what it is that you bring to the program in terms of alumni relations, school support, jersey sales, now you've got kids that have turned on you, and you're a 20-year-old kid that's getting death threats because you're exercising your right to transfer because of shit that you couldn't control.
How
How-
crazy does that sound?
How-
You could answer.
Like, how do you feel about the notion that, you know, it's a big topic in sports right now that college athletes deserve to get paid?
Bro, I've been saying this since then.
Right.
And Kane Coulter, he was a quarterback for Northwestern. He tried to get everybody like on board to
Right.
really make a change with that shit. And
Right.
we were all just like, bro, we got no shot.
Right.
Now, looking back on it, I regret we should have really put that coalition together and shit like that. But it's crazy, bro. I think that year, my sophomore year at Penn State, I think Penn State football made like $70 million for the school.
This is what I'm talking about. And these are things that now looking back in it, you could look at exactly what you brought to the table.
Yeah, I know.
$70 million.
Dollars and cents what we brought back to the school. Not only impact, not only inspiration,
Right.
or just joy.
Right.
Winning and just
Right.
having a good.
And that's
football
stuff
team.
that can't be argued.
You
it's
know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying?
It's $70 million
Not only
that
do
was
we
brought to the school About a football team.
We know that's a fact. That's a fact. I saw none of that outside of my tuition.
So
and I know. Yeah, go ahead.
So we gonna get into this because I've been with you through some of this shit. Like, so we talk about you hear about these class action suits with EA Sports.
Yep.
Where they use your name and likeness in a video game, thinking they can get away with it. Then a couple years down the line, there's a lawsuit, and then you get a check in the mail.
Right. But you still haven't gotten.
Like, that's not enough.
No.
So if we really digging into this, like, the coaches are getting in trouble for offering the bread underneath the table. You've got the corporations that are then being tasked with paying you back the money because of, if we were going to talk about violating your rights to use your name and likeness, but the NCAA still seems to be in denial about this, and it is convinced that over the course of 4 years, your $250,000 somehow offsets the $70 million that you're bringing in annually.
Right.
I'm bugging?
Nah, not at all, bro.
Because $250,000 to me compared to $70 million just sounds crazy.
Crazy. But they really think that. That's exactly what they think. That $250,000 that you don't see unless you get money from FAFSA, other financial aid.
Yep.
They really think that suffices. That suffices for the $70 million that we just made.
So really, at the end of the day, is all right. So thanks for the $70 million. We're sorry about the death threats. Good luck
Take
at
these
USC.
books.
Good luck at USC.
Yeah. You can have these books. That's how it is.
So you get to USC.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did it hit you like, I'm here? Because obviously, as we all know, like, USC is a different kind of beast. Like, you had, and if we're gonna keep it a stack, you playing the same position that Reggie Bush played, right? Like,
yeah,
we talking about but I'm saying, like, we talking about the type of energy that was given to them, right? We talking about every time y'all go out, TMZ is following you. We talking about, like, this is a different kind of beast.
Yeah.
You obviously knew that there were these distractions coming into it. You knew that there were these allegations that were on the table, and you weren't afraid of that.
No.
At what point, once you got on campus, did it become real? Like,
it got real on the visit.
Okay,
That's why I committed, bro.
Let's talk about it.
Nothing on the visit was crazy that happened. Like, nothing happened, was out of ordinary, I guess, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, when you say nothing was out of the ordinary, it wasn't out of the ordinary overall, or it wasn't out of the ordinary for USC?
Wow, that's a great question.
Right. Because this isn't LA. This is in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
This is a pretty good time to be an athlete in LA.
It's not bad. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely
great.
not bad.
It's great.
Kobe was around.
Bean was around, bro. Bean was around. The Lake Show was still kind of the Lake Show. It was probably the last year of the Lake Show, 2012, right?
Right.
We got smashed by the Mavs.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it was out there. But as far as a pro team, there was no pro team as far as football.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you had Kobe around, but the Lake Show wasn't. It wasn't Shaq and Kobe.
No.
Like, it wasn't Powell and Kobe Lakers.
No.
So USC fills that void.
Right.
I mean,
how was that?
Right.
Nah, I want to know what was better, USC or Penn State parties.
They
Why were you looking at them? You look at them. You the one that went to those schools.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
All right, so I need to know what was going on.
Well, they were both crazy in their own right.
Because the weather is nice in LA.
The weather is crazy.
Crazy.
In LA.
Right.
But there's 44,000 people on campus at Penn State.
There's not that many in USC?
On campus?
I don't know.
Nah, not on campus.
Not on campus.
There's 14,000 undergrads, I think, on SC's campus.
Okay.
So you're looking at a 30,000 difference. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a big difference.
It's a huge difference, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it was so many things to get into at Penn State, bro.
Wow, were you getting into them or?
We were getting into them.
All right, I respect it. You had to. Listen, why not? Why you going to school,
top 5 party schools during that time. You know what I'm saying? So Penn State was crazy, bro. Shotty was at Penn State partying crazy. Rashad Slowly, for those who don't know him, as Shotty.
Listen,
first guest on this podcast.
Shout him out.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout him out. Who else was there? Because we need to know.
Who else was out there partying?
Yeah.
Bro, everybody.
I'm asking. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
Oh my God.
I wasn't there, but.
Well, Shotty was there.
Shotty was there. All right. Shotty was there. All right.
At that time, Shotty was representing for Lit Nation.
For all intents and purposes, Shotty was a Penn State recruit.
Okay.
All right.
So
they're
really
getting crazy.
So it's getting crazy.
This ain't
crazy.
my friend Rashad. This is recruit Rashad.
Right, so talking about both Penn State and USC, did you actually go to class?
Not a lot, bro.
Nah.
All right. My first 2 years I did. When I got to SC.
So first 2 years, Penn State.
Penn State.
You went to class in Penn State.
For the most part. More than I did
70%? You went to 70% of classes?
85% I went to class.
All right. You went to classes and USC? 30%?
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. So obviously it's a lot different. When we first talked to Rashad Slowly, Shotty, he went to Division II school, so obviously they weren't traveling as much as you guys. You going to Penn State and then going to USC. You got games. You're playing against, I don't know, Syracuse. You're playing against Miami. You're playing against Hawaii. You're playing against all these teams. So you traveling, I imagine, a lot more than he was. So was it a lot of times are you missing class because of games? Are you missing class just because I don't gotta go to class? I'm Silas Red.
No, it's never that, bro. I knew the consequence of my actions. You know what I'm saying?
Did you?
I did, for sure. I did. I guess me not caring is kind of some type of arrogance. I can say looking back at it. Maybe,
okay.
You know what I mean? I can admit that.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew what I was doing by not going to class, bro. But just the schedule, dude. Being a student athlete, and student athletes get it done. So it's not I can't complain and really bitch about it because people do it and graduate. And,
people do.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Get their masters in 4 or 5 years, stuff like that. So it's doable. But I didn't apply myself at USC.
You didn't apply yourself at USC. Would you say you applied yourself at Penn State?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess you're out there. You're kind of the top percentile where you're like athletically gifted. You're a starter on the teams. You're playing. You're probably realizing, I don't know, that I'm good at this. Was there a point where you're like, I kind of feel like I may make it to professional level, or I know for sure I'm making it to a professional level?
I think after my sophomore year, I was like, all right, I'll probably complete.
So before you got to USC,
yeah,
you said like I got a
after my
shot.
Sophomore year, yeah, the spring of 2012, I was like, all right, I probably can play in the NFL.
Okay. So once you got to USC, that had to have felt like somewhat of a reset. Not only because it was a change of scenery, but also, and not only because it's a different school, but when we look at it from a talent level, to name a few people, you join in Robert Woods, Marquise Lee, Hayes Pullard.
Whole team is kind of crazy.
Deion Bailey, Devon Kennard, Buck Allen, Nelson Aguilar.
Shout out to Nelson.
X.
Shout out to X.
This is league.
So your team is league.
Whole squad is league, bro.
So did you feel like, all right, I'm here, but
we all live together,
right? But
you guys live together?
Me, Woody, Marquise, Hayes.
So question. X, so your living situation while you're at USC. Let me just
my junior year.
So your living situation. Y'all got like a couple apartments that are next to each other.
House.
You got a house. Y'all got a house.
In the hood though. It's
We'll get to the location.
Yeah.
So y'all got a house.
Yeah.
Where it's, you know, you and whatever 5, 6, how many
6.
people? It's 6 of y'all that are living in a house off of campus, and y'all all play football.
Yeah.
Y'all really good at football.
Palace.
The Palace.
The Palace.
Yeah.
Y'all call it the Palace. Why y'all call it the Palace?
All right. So it was the Palace before I transferred in.
Before you got there, it was
Before I
already
got
the
there, it was
Palace.
already the
You
Palace.
just moved in.
I moved in.
All right.
I got
That's
knighted.
fine.
You know what I'm saying? I you know what I mean? I wasn't an original member. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Hashikashi. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes. All right.
Hashikashi.
Okay.
So, but it was a Palace because they would throw these crazy parties, and the parties would get shut down. The whole block would get shut down.
In the house?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your bedroom was just like your bed. I'm saying you like. All right. So y'all are living in this house, and there's 6, 7 of y'all, whatever. Y'all go to USC. Y'all elite football players that are going on. That seems like it's kind of fun.
Wild fun, bro.
A lot of fun.
And I think that kind of helped or contributed to the fact. Not helped. Contributed to the fact I didn't go to class. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to.
Honestly, I wouldn't go to class either. If I was living
bro.
there.
It was tough.
Why would I go? Why would I go to class? Why would I go sit in a room at 8 a.m. with 100 other people when I'm lit?
But let's talk about that too.
Why'd I go do that?
These are people you walk into class with a bunch of your fans. If we keep it in the stack.
Listen,
I'm sure there were times
I'm a
you just
fan,
didn't
too.
want to deal with that shit either.
Nah, especially at Penn State. It was more so crazy at Penn State than USC because USC is in LA, so
Right.
they see celebrities.
Right.
I'm not a celebrity
Right.
compared to whoever
Right.
who's out there. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
So it was more so that at Penn State, but yeah, even at SC, like professors and shit would want to talk about the game, and it's like, bro, I actually came just to learn today.
Right.
Wow. So you went this? you were trying to just go to school,
Sometimes
'Cause
like you just don't want to talk about the game, bro, especially with your professor.
So I saw a video. It was with Mark Tyler,
yeah,
where he referred to the school as the University of Sexual Ballers.
Which, for the
Now-
record, does not
That,
spell
first of all,
USC.
that's not even USC. That's USB, right? He messed that up.
He was lit.
He was
literally-
lit, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, was there any truth to that? Like, was it the University of Sexual Ballers?
I mean, yeah, bro, we did our thing.
Y'all were getting sexual.
Very, very.
All right.
Nah,
Because
but,
I mean, like you said, it's LA. It's LA.
bro.
You gotta do what
And-
you gotta
There's a
do.
lot of weird
And when
shit
it comes
going on.
to y'all were borderline the team
football
in LA.
yeah.
So, and I mean, we know there's history between USC athletes.
And Kim Kardashian. Apparently, he said that
All right,
URB
we jump right to it.
or RBU running back university. So you was a running back,
It was.
and he said all of them get in Kim Kardashian. Now, I already know because if you did any of that, I would have known about that. First of all, shout out to Jess. Cannot wait. My fiance is here too. She's
shout out,
off camera right now. We cannot wait for the wedding. All right, but we talking about old stuff. All right.
Yeah, it was Super Bowl.
So specifically, I mean, obviously he was drunk in the video, but
OD.
he was drunk. But I imagine there had to be a reason for him to be even talking like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, would you say you played on the Redskins, right? Mm-hmm. Were you getting paid more to play for the Redskins or for USC?
Yo.
I don't know.
Chill, bro.
I didn't go to either of those places. I don't know.
I got paid more for the Redskins.
For the Redskins, all right. No doubt. Because I heard they was breaking bread. He literally said they was breaking bread at USC.
We're not letting you off the hook though.
No way.
Nowadays.
So it's not a way.
It's
there's no
USC. It's LA. It's the Palace.
Mm.
Celebrities coming through the Palace too.
No A-listers. Not even that B-lister.
No.
But I guess people that had a lot of followers
That,
came through. Not
there's
that
a lot of
means
people
there's
in
no.
LA,
You
they
know what
are-
I'm saying?
Is that how you tell it?
Just that.
Gotcha.
Just
Social
that type
media
of-
in
social-
celebrities, Instagram
influencers,
celebrities.
whatever the fuck.
Got it.
Yeah.
No problem, no problem. But I guess even just to the point where you're in USC now. So before you getting coached by Joe Paterno, now at USC, you was
Lane
it Pete
Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin?
Lane Kiffin
Was
is my
Pete
coach.
Carroll there as well?
No, I didn't
No?
get no. I
No?
didn't have any interaction with Pete Carroll.
I'm sorry. So excuse me, because I got to clarify this now. Was Pete Carroll ever the coach of USC?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So
of course. No, you're not
it was,
bugging.
it was after you were there,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
all right, all right.
before.
Before you were there.
Yeah, before
all right.
I was there,
So
yeah.
you're coaching personnel. Just in your time, you had Joe Paterno. You got Lane Kiffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which these are two guys who obviously they're well known within the coaching world. They've been on all types of teams, whether it's between NCAA or NFL teams. And honestly, they probably get paid a lot of money, right? So, did you ever feel like your coaches were like celebrities? You know what I mean? Or was it just like, I'm just trying to play, these are just my coaches? Or did you feel
Oh,
like
well, not
this kind of
Joe
thing?
was
Joe was what?
a celebrity.
A celebrity?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, bro.
So at practice, did it feel like this isn't even really like practice or what?
No, practice was cool, but everything outside of practice was felt like, you know, was some type of movie or you know, just all the focus was on him. You just knew that.
Got you.
Yeah. SC, Lane was a pretty boy. Lane was he was a Cali boy, like, you know what I'm saying? Just
Got it.
one of them type dudes. Fun, went to have fun, parties, shit like that.
Did you ever feel like he felt he was bigger than the program?
Lane? Bigger than the program?
That's a big
I don't know.
program.
I can't get into his head like that. I'm not sure what exactly he felt himself compared to the program, but he thought his shit didn't stink for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But shout out to Lane because I have no problem with Lane. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy.
Shout out to Lane.
Yeah,
And
shout out
shout
to
out to Sarkeesian too. Cause
I don't fuck with Sark, but
listen, this oh my fault.
Nah, you
I
good.
didn't even know. I thought Sarkeesian
I
was
just don't
after
know
you.
him. I just don't know him.
Oh,
I
okay,
just
you don't know
him.
Sark.
Yeah, I
All
just
right.
don't know.
So the reason I was asking that is because you got Lane Kiffin, you got Joe Paterno. These guys were definitely doing well for themselves within the coaching world. And one thing that we like to talk about is just NCAA and how right now they're obviously not paying athletes, but the topic of if they should or like what you think is the right thing, paying athletes or not paying athletes. So obviously we spoke to Rashad slowly on the first episode, and we kind of went back and forth. Myself, I played Division III basketball. Brian Ford as well. He played Division III basketball. So we're at much different programs, much different situations than you were playing at Penn State, playing at USC. Programs that sell 1 million tickets. Like, it's always sold out, and you got 50,000, 100,000 people that are in the stands. You guys are selling jerseys. You guys are on TV, doing all kinds of things. So specifically, with the NCAA paying athletes or not paying athletes, what do you think is the right thing to do?
To pay them, bro.
To pay?
Yeah, pay them, bro, for the hard work. There's situations outside of football. Like, these kids are poor outside of football. Like, yeah, we getting our education paid for, but we don't have time to work. Outside of the stipend, depending on where you live, that stipend check gets ate by your rent. You know what I'm saying? So after you pay your rent, you have no money left over to get groceries or to live your life, you know what I mean? So of course these kids are doing whatever they got to do to get money, whether it's signing, whatever they doing.
Sure.
Why not pay them, have it come from the school, so you know your kids are set, you know your kids aren't out here worrying about where they're gonna get their next meal from and shit like that. Like, it's something they can control and they're not controlling it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a big percentage of kids that are doing the wrong thing strictly because they need money. And that's something that they can control.
So, I also feel like it just makes sense that the college players should get paid because they're putting so much into it. I know how much physicality goes into an effort People get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Playing these sports.
Yeah.
When you're paying coaches, like I said about your coaches specifically, a Lane Kiffin, a Joe Paterno, these guys getting $2 million, $5 million.
Bread, yeah.
You even got guys like was it Tim Herman from Texas, or like other guys who are getting $10 million a year to coach these college teams. These aren't professional teams. These are college teams that are getting millions of dollars, right? So, you know, if it was up to you, and just give me like, you don't got to give me specific percentages, kind of a round idea. If you were the athletic director at USC or at Penn State, or if you were the president of the school, right, and you had $100 million, you could think about one program. How are you going to pay your football team? How are you going to pay your basketball team, your baseball team, your swimming team, tennis team?
Bro.
How would you do that? How would you break it up?
I would break it down. Each team gets a certain amount of money, bro. Every team doesn't have 100 or something players like football.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ways to pay all the sports in the program, especially in a Division I program where the football team is making tens of millions of dollars.
So specifically, the reason I asked that is because usually it's only the Division I football and basketball men's programs that are actually making money.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that aspect, when you're saying like, all right, the football team should get this much, basketball team should get this much, or whatever. So you like, would you make it kind of based on what you're bringing in, or was it just like, would you make each team gets kind of or each player within the university gets the same amount?
No,
How
I
would
don't
you
think
kind
it
of
should
divvy
be
that
that.
up?
I don't think it should be that.
Okay.
I don't think it should be that, and some people may not agree, but I guess I'm biased.
Hey, listen. This is for your opinion.
Yeah, facts.
If we ask 100 people, we're going to have 100 different opinions.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to get your idea of how you would do it if you're the president of USC.
Word. So everybody would get paid. All the money would break down to how many kids are on your playing that sport. You know what I'm saying? After that, it would how much money is each sport bringing in.
Okay.
After you work those numbers out, however we would work those numbers out, you would pay the players, bro. There's so much money to go around to all these sports.
There's no question. There's a ton of money. There's no question. There's a ton of money.
There's no question.
So I don't, for my sake, I don't know the exact reasons why the NCAA or those big colleges, you know, you went to two big colleges, why they might not pay the players. But in my head, it's not as simple as people may make it out to be.
No, definitely not. I agree.
So just thinking about it for yourself, right? Because obviously last time we were talking to Rashad, he played in Division II. He was a star, but he played Division II, which is much different than Division I, right? Would you be okay if you, as the starting running back, the star running back for Penn State or USC, got paid the same amount as some kid who's like coming off the bench on the baseball team or on the swimming team or whatever? If like all the athletes within the school got the same amount, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would.
So
as
that
long
makes
as we
it simple.
get paid, bro. It's sometimes the amount doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If we could get to a solution where you putting money in these kids' pockets, then let's do it.
Okay.
If everybody gets the same amount, whatever. However we want to work it out, let's work it out.
Because we know there's a way that the schools on the back end are calculating how much money you're making for them.
You know it. Come on, that's all.
Like that's a fact.
That's a fact.
The only thing that we know is we know that they know on the back end what player, whose jersey selling the most. When it comes to brand likeness, we know who they're featuring in the.
Absolutely.
There's a reason they're not featuring the last guy on the bench in the promos.
Absolutely.
He's not in the shoots for the ads.
But it's a team, bro. At the end of the day,
No.
it's a team,
But I'm saying they know what you're bringing to the table.
Oh yeah.
And I agree with you that there's no one right way to do it. So if you're gonna do it, it's got to be there's a certain amount that gets to the whole team and split evenly. I'm on board with that.
Word.
I'm talking about the other side, but from a business perspective, they know the players to feature in the ads, to feature in the commercials, to feature in the creative spots that are during the games. You're on the jumbotron to attract fans. We know that that's not just to interact with the fans.
No.
We know it's to build the brand.
Of course.
We know they look at you. They look
at
at you as a business entity, but it's one-sided.
Super. No partnership whatsoever.
At all. It's not a partnership at all. Nah. And again, this ties back to the loyalty thing that I know I've been jumping back and forth with.
I see where you're getting at.
But then they put together these systems where under the table is acceptable, right? Like you've got these boosters that everybody knows exists, and it's all good until you get caught, and then the only person that gets outed is you.
Right.
Did you feel like there was that kind of pressure at USC where it's like, or at Penn State, like, where it was like, hey, listen, like, we're going to do what we can, but if we get caught, it's really on you. Did you feel like there was that kind of pressure? Because you touched on how when you were getting recruited, you were getting these offers. They were offering to fly your parents out. They were offering it for the bread. And the reason why you didn't do it was because you knew that you shouldn't be. You knew it was against the rules, against the law, if you will. Like, you were that straight edge where you were that stand-up guy that said, listen, like, I don't need this. Do you feel like these schools feel like, all right, you know what, like, this is what we can offer, and if he doesn't take it, he doesn't take it, and that's it.
Take it or leave it type thing. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I feel like some guys may have leverage.
Mm-hmm.
More leverage than other guys. You know what I mean? Like for Marquise could do what the hell he wanted. You know?
Get well soon, bro.
Yeah. First Biletnikoff winner at USC. Like, he had it.
Marquise Lee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Marquise Lee, excuse me. He could do what he wanted. A guy like me, where I had a somewhat of a household name, but I wasn't a superstar at the collegiate level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was different for me.
Right.
It's different for me. So it's different scenarios for each kid, but yeah, it's really all about what type of leverage you have on the school.
Right. But did you feel like, and even if it wasn't just you, just based on what you saw, that it was like, it wasn't necessarily a setup, but the school's willing to hook you up, to help you out, to put a couple dollars in your pocket. But at the end of the day, they know that the only person that really is going to catch the brunt of this is you. Yeah, there may be a sanction here, maybe a fine.
Yeah, it's your name that's got the smut on it.
We talking about say it's a $50,000 fine. We just talked about the program making $70 million for the school.
Yeah,
$50,000, that's nothing.
Pennies.
So, did it often feel like that? And again, like, this doesn't just have to be for you, but just as a team, that it was like, we're kind of gonna pimp y'all out and do what we want.
Yeah, I mean, they knew they had the upper hand,
right?
And you felt that. You felt it as a player.
Yes.
You knew they had the upper hand, bro. Like, it's kind of like those things. Like, all right, y'all got it. Like,
all right,
but watch. Like, one of them type things. Like, you couldn't do nothing at the moment.
I mean, you were there for a reason. You were there at these schools. You were at the Penn State for a little while, for 2 years, and you go to USC for a reason, right? And obviously, they had an agenda, was to get the most out of you that they could, and you're there to get the most out of them that they could. Because obviously, you're there, you got a platform, you on TV, you playing these games, so professional teams are watching you. You get you get an education at the same time. You're not paying anything for all that, right? So obviously, your college experience was definitely crazy, or was I would say probably a good one. Yeah. You know, because you went to a couple great places and you did what you had to do, right?
For sure.
So obviously that comes to an end. You know, for college usually is, you know, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years for some people, maybe even a little bit longer. And you start thinking about what comes after that.
I got to piss, bro. Can I take a piss break real quick?
Could, yeah. Yeah. All right. So obviously your college career gets kind of to the winding down situation where you're at USC You got a solid senior year under your belt. And then you got to start thinking about what comes next, because that's it. You can't play no more. You know, kind of what's going through your mind at that point. You know, what are you thinking about?
Well, let me rewind it a little bit, because my senior year wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
So, spring ball going into senior year, I tear my meniscus.
Mine is torn right now. mine is literally torn right now.
Yeah.
I might not never fix it if I don't have to, honestly. So you tore your meniscus. Obviously, you're a different type of athlete than me. So you know what happens. You tear your meniscus. You know what now?
Meniscus. It's my lateral meniscus, so it's the one that's a little more uncommon to tear than the medial side.
Okay.
So I get the surgery. I'm not gonna say anything about the doctor. We'll talk about that off camera. Shout out to Boney. I get my surgery, and he's I said I wasn't gonna get into it. Basically, he didn't mess up on my surgery, but he's an older doctor.
He did some old school method that he was
It's not even an old school method, bro. He just was an older doctor, so I don't know how shaky his hand was. You know, it wasn't a major procedure. It was a scope, but
his hands weren't where they were supposed to be. Is what
I
you're saying.
didn't like where his hands were.
You didn't like it. All right.
No, but
his hands were not sturdy. They were a little.
Not sturdy at all, bro.
All right. Okay. So you had a surgery. It was supposed to be smooth.
Yeah.
It wasn't as smooth as you wanted.
It wasn't
to
as smooth as I wanted
All
to be. I'm not gonna blame it on him yet.
Got it. When are we gonna blame it on him though?
After this lawsuit.
We'll get into I heard you. All right. No problem.
We'll get into that. So I have the surgery. I get out there. The timetable is like 4 weeks for the recovery for a meniscus. You know, it's not that long.
Get out there. You talking about your senior year at UC? Or what did you
spring ball?
When you say get out there?
Yep, going into the
season.
It's a spring ball. I break. I tear my meniscus.
Right.
4 weeks go by. I get back into spring ball. I don't play in the spring game, but you know I'm back healthy, right?
Right.
But my shit is still not right. Like it's just not right, bro.
Sure.
Something happening, right? So I'm playing on it. I'm going through training camp with it. I'm just still not right, bro. My pops comes out to visit me. Comes to practice. Sees how I'm running. He's like, nah, something's wrong. So he takes me out of practice. He goes back into the training room, talks to the doctors. The trainer's like, somebody got to get him right.
Right.
Like, this is not my son. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my pops for that, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have said nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just falling in line, being a good soldier like I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he did that. I missed the first 5 games of the seasons because I get a stem cell procedure. I go down to Pensacola, Florida, get a stem cell procedure to help the healing of my
So
meniscus.
You went down there just for that?
Just for that.
They didn't have that like in LA?
No, I had to go to a
They have
special
a
doctor for
Wow.
that.
Your Kobe, your microplasma.
Who paid for that?
Flata.
Was it just your
SC,
regular insurance or
SC.
USC said we're gonna send you down there?
Yeah. So they did that after speaking with my pops, and my pops told them how concerned he was and expressed his, discontent about how they were treating me, basically. You know what I'm saying? So he got that done. Shout out to my pops for that. I can't say shit about that. So we get the procedure done. I get the stem cell procedure. They take stem cells out of my iliac crest, which is like my waistline. They take stem cells.
Your cheeks?
Right above my cheeks.
Above your cheeks, all right.
Right above my cheeks. But they
So
probably
you got the cheek. You got
I
the cheek
went to
cells.
sleep, so they probably like
Right, okay.
Beats was out. I don't know what they're doing.
All right, so they
I was
going.
wild sore after.
Wait, so you got your? Would you say you got your body done? You got your like, because that's what it sounds like.
So
Yo, listen.
So you went to
wait.
So you went to
didn't-
Dr. Miami. Is
So
what
you
you
went honestly, you went to Dr. Miami. Wow.
Okay.
Because honestly, nobody ever says,
Okay.
listen, Silas, nobody ever says, I went to Dr. Miami. It was like, I went down, I had to go to Pensacola, and like, I was AB minus,
Right.
so I had to go to
Okay.
special doctor. So that's what it sounds like right now.
Okay.
Right? So you got your body done, as you're saying, at Dr. Miami. I don't know. I'm just saying, right?
got my body done.
You got your body done.
Basically, I got my
Listen,
body done.
Get your body done.
But so they take the stem cells right out of this part of my hip waistline, and they inject it into my knee, and it's supposed to speed up the process. It's like how they do like PRP, which is a process where they take white blood cells, spin it, or take red blood cells, spin it, make them white, and inject it into the area, whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it helps fight that area, whatever you need help with. So it was just that on steroids. So I got that done.
On steroids?
On steroids. As a phrase.
I heard you.
I didn't take steroids. I'm not even that problem. But I'm not. You should not talk.
I don't know. You was asking though. Yeah, we don't know nothing here. All right.
Nah. I didn't take any steroids. But so that process happened. I sat out the first 5 games. So that's those games I can't get those back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't play.
I'm going through in my head. I'm going through like, damn, do I want a red shirt? Do I want a gray shirt? I still have that year. You know,
right.
since I played my freshman year. So I'm contemplating that. I'm like, forget it, man. I'll just play the rest of my senior year, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm playing, you know, I get first game back Arizona, you know, I'm getting my feet wet, got like 90 yards, 88 yards, something like that. And the game, you know, they put me in to solidify the game, so that felt good as a senior, you know, get my feet back wet in a big moment, you know what I mean? Play Notre Dame, have a 100-yard game, so I'm like, all right, let's go. Oregon State have a 100-yard game.
These are like big name schools. You're not playing just against some bums. You getting in there, you getting 100 yards against some good teams.
We doing our thing, bro. I had a great line my senior year.
All right.
My knee is feeling good. I'm starting to get back to where I was. You know what I mean? Playing Cal, I get a pitch to the right. And if for those who know me, like, I love jumping over people, like, since high school, right?
Yeah, you a hurdler.
I'm a hurdler.
I saw a couple highlights. I just watched highlight tapes before this. I was doing some research, and it seems like you just like jumping over people.
I like jumping, bro. I like leaving my feet.
You a jumper,
I'm a jumper, bro.
All right.
Backflips in the end zone.
Big backflips, all type of shit. Started flipping when I was 3, right? So I love all that type of shit. I jump over a dude, but when I land, I'm like, damn, something doesn't feel right. Right. Something doesn't feel right. I continue with the drive. I get a screen pass on like the 12-yard line, take it in, score. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that would be my last collegiate touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Ever. I find out I tear my PCL right on the jump that I made, so I'm out for the rest of the season. That brings me to
same knee.
Same. No. As my meniscus?
Yeah.
No, opposite knee.
Different knee, so
my meniscus was my left. I did my PCL on my right.
So you don't got the strongest knees out there.
My knees trash right now. This moment in time, my knees are trash.
All right.
Like, they getting trash.
Heard you.
And it's frustrated as shit, right?
Right.
So, going into my senior year, I had a 3rd round grade to being drafted in the NFL.
So, question. Because we got that on here. I heard they got this thing that's called the loss in value insurance.
Yes.
And apparently, you were the first person to collect on this. So from what I understand, this is some type of insurance that for collegiate players, if they are projected to be drafted, I don't know if it's 1st round, 3rd round, they can claim some type of insurance. You buy an insurance policy, and if something goes wrong, like an injury, like a suspension or something like that, and you happen to not get drafted where you are projected to get drafted, you kind of can collect some type of insurance. So this is on Google. This is out there. That you were the first person to collect on that type of policy.
I didn't know it was the first. I know I was one of the first. I didn't know
you were the first.
I didn't know that.
The first.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so just because you mentioned it, that was actually a question I had here. That was a question I had here. So how was that? Like, first of all, why did you even think, like, let me get this insurance?
Yeah.
And like what was that? Because someone had to sell it to you.
Right,
someone had to sell you that plan.
Right. So Matt Barkley and TJ McDonald, 2 of my teammates at USC, the quarterback and the safety, they came after an amazing junior year. Both of them graded 1st round, like big money. You know what I mean? Big money.
Yep.
They both end up coming back for their senior year. They should have left. TJ, I love you. You should have left. Matt Barkley gets hurt. TJ doesn't have the All-American year he had. He still balled. Like, he's in the NFL, got $24 million. Like, he balled out. Okay. But both of those guys didn't do what they supposed. Their senior year wasn't what they expected
projected to do.
You know what I mean? So that hurt their draft stock. So both I think got drafted in the 3rd round. I'm pretty sure after being projected 1st round. Okay. So my dad sees this. He's like, I hear this about this loss of value insurance. Somebody at USC tells him about the loss of value insurance.
Right. So you should get that.
I'm not sure if it was the athletic director at the time or something like that, but he said he brings this up to my pops. My pops jumps all over it. So he gets some funding to put it, because you got to pay for the insurance.
You got to pay for it. Yes, right. You have to pay for
whatever.
Insurance.
I think it was like.
So you say your dad gets the funding for it?
Yeah.
Who gives him that money?
Put a dude named Ronnie Kamore.
Who's?
Look, I don't know exactly.
He a booster, or what are we talking about?
Not a booster, but he works with people. He works with agents. He's in that world. You know what I'm saying? The agent type world.
The lot on our last episode, we talking Rashad slowly. Us 3 going back and forth because Rashad played Division II. We couldn't really understand what a booster even was. Yeah. We were all saying, well, I feel like he does this. He like kind of is the person behind it, but we don't know. He
wasn't a booster.
Listen, I never dealt with a booster. Yeah. Rashad never dealt with a booster, so we all like kind of talking like that, right? Yeah. So you talking about this guy who's like, listen, I'm gonna give you this money for this insurance policy. You said it was $17,000.
No, it wasn't under the table. Yeah, about $17,000-$18,000. It wasn't under the table.
I'm not saying it was legit, but apparently this is a guy who was like, listen, you should do this because it sounds like somebody he's not giving you the money just because he's your friend.
Nah, not at all. And it really wasn't no even crazy terms to come with it. All he wanted was the money back. If I got the settlement, all he wanted was the money back that he put up. So that was cool. We were with that. You know what I mean?
Sure, no problem.
So we did that, and I ended up getting hurt.
Yes.
I ended up getting hurt.
That's crazy.
So the whole process, shout out to my agent at the time, Jim Ivler. The whole process took like a year.
Shout out to Jim Ivler.
Shout out to
Talk to us real quick. We taking sponsors.
Word. Sports stars, holla at them.
Yes.
He did his thing, man. He's a lawyer by trade, but all agents are mostly lawyers. For the most part.
Now they got to know what they're doing.
Exactly. So he handled that whole thing, man, and it took a long time. It took like a year and a half. I played my rookie season, still didn't get the settlement. So it wasn't until 2015 I got a settlement I took out or I got for myself in 2013. So it took about 2 years. But I ended up getting hurt, and the loss of value I got from dropping from 3rd round to undrafted ended up being, it was supposed to be $1 million. That's what I was supposed to get. I was supposed to get $1 million, and if I held out, I probably would have got $1 million.
Wait,
but the 650 racks I got.
So you got 650.
660.
All right. So I'm gonna say it on record right now. You did not give me $0. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna need at least. You gotta throw me at least 100.
We partied.
Listen,
crazy.
we partied, but I'm gonna need at least. Listen, my cable bill is like $150 right now.
That was crazy.
My cable bill is like $150. So you got $650. You didn't even. But
ask me what the $650 is now.
Nah, we don't gotta talk about that. But wow, okay. So it was just specifically because this is the first time I heard about the policy. When I like literally me just trying to like research you.
Yeah.
I see about this loss in value insurance. I didn't hear about it before, and apparently you were the first person that collected on that. Yeah. So you collected $650,000 from this policy.
60. Yeah.
There you got it. Okay. When you got that, like, were you like happy? Were you like, wow, this is amazing? Because obviously at the same time, while you collecting this money, you're still trying to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, at this time, you played on the Redskins, right? You didn't get drafted, but you got picked up. I don't know if they called you.
Yep.
How did that go? Because obviously you're probably sitting up. The draft is going on. You're watching the draft. Yeah, day 1, day 2, whatever
People
the case
at mom's crib. I knew I wasn't going day 1. I knew I wasn't going day 2. But day 3, I'm like, it's time. Like, it's time.
What's going on?
It's time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't time. Got a call from the Redskins like 5th round. Mm-hmm. You know, we thinking about getting you. You know, stay by your phone. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, it's
time.
It's time, bro. But RG3, shout out to RG3. He doesn't even know I know this story, but
shout out to RG3.
Shout out to RG3. Y'all see it? Y'all gonna see him at the wedding. He had a running back at Baylor with him, Lake Seastrunk. Same year, we came out same time as high school. They played together. He had some influence with the team, obviously coming off his rookie season. You know, he did his thing up there.
Getting crazy.
He put the word in for Lake. They drafted Lake instead of me, 5th round.
Lake.
Seastrunk.
Seastrunk. Okay, I'm thinking about Lane Kip.
No, you.
I'm crazy. All right. I'm like Lake. Who's Lake? Okay. Lake Seastrunk, who's also went to USC.
No, he's a running back though. Same class as me.
Okay, got you.
High school class, same college class.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Coming out the same time. Got it. They go with him. They draft him 5th round. They called me after the draft. I end up not getting drafted. Obviously, they called me. They're one of the first people to call me. At this point, a bunch of teams are calling people. If you didn't get drafted, a bunch of teams are offering you like.
So apparently, what Rashad said is it 7 rounds? It's in the NFL.
Yeah.
7. Okay, so he said like after 7 rounds, the calls. He said calls open up.
Yeah.
Where they just like the people who are still out there, they start trying to pick people up and stuff like that. Yeah. So you say you started getting calls around the 5th round?
I started getting calls around the 5th round. Nothing came into fruition within the next 2. So,
but what are those calls even like when someone says like, "Listen, we're looking at you."
Yeah.
Like what?
Period, bro. Just fucking with you, or just messing with you. You know what I mean? Saying just.
You could curse.
All right.
You can say whatever you want. Listen, nobody listens to this podcast, so it's fine.
That's gonna change.
Nah, nobody listens to this. So listen, if you got some stuff to say about your colleges, nobody listens to this. All right. So it's fine.
I got you, bro. But so they call you, and it's like Shotty said, it's calls open, right? So
sure.
A whole bunch of teams call you, and they're offering you like deals. Like if you're good enough, they feel you're good enough. You didn't get drafted, but you're good enough. They'll offer you some money. So like, they'll offer you 8 bands to sign with them just to come.
Like $10,000. You saying?
Yeah. So I got offered 8.
So I know
as a signing bonus
with football, I'm not as familiar with football as I am with basketball or even baseball. Cause I know with like basketball and baseball, those contracts are actually guaranteed, right? So with football, someone could sign a 5-year contract for $50 million, $100 million, but they could play 1 year, and that 1 year could be maybe not very successful.
Right. That's what you hear with these contracts. It's like
right.
So and so signed a 5-year, $100 million contract, $40 million guaranteed.
Rarely do they see the 100,
because the rest of that 60 is incentive based.
The other 60 is just out
clauses,
there.
Right. So many terms and conditions,
and you don't even know what they losing bread for game after game.
Nah, but you just lose bread.
Right.
Now, how many guys take fines? How many guys, you know what I'm saying, give money back because of the stupid shit they do, suspension, shit like that? I'm one of them.
Right.
I'm not talking from a place of higher ups. Like, I got suspended. I got fined in the league. You know what I mean? So, how much money you want to get back is on you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you got to understand all that shit you signed for is not guaranteed.
Right.
So, like,
it's not guaranteed.
Nah.
All right. So, you're saying you got a couple calls and they talking about we'll give you 8,000 guaranteed, 10,000 guaranteed, but what are the like total values of those? Not just the guarantee, or because I mean like the minimum or the minimum wage you could say for like the NFL.
Yeah,
isn't it like 300, 400,000?
Rookie minimums.
Rookie minimums, right? We talking about rookie minimums.
Yeah, rookie minimum. So rookie minimum when I came in was,
and this is what 2014.
2014.
2014.
So rookie minimum was like 450.
415,000. 415,000
Yeah, before taxes.
All right, that's not a little bit of money.
No, not
that's a great amount of money.
Great amount.
Okay, but obviously there you got other players that are making.
I signed 3 years, 1.5. That's what
you
I
signed 3 years, 1.5.
That was my first NFL deal. I signed 3 years, 1.5 with a 4th year option.
I wish I signed 10 years, 1.5. I would give them 10 years, 1.5. Yeah, I wish. Yeah. So you signed. All right. So the minimum is like 400,000 ish, right?
First year, it goes up every year.
First year, it goes up every year, right?
Yeah.
So when do you start actually thinking about the money, right? Because obviously you at USC, where you're kind of just playing, where you're trying to go pro, but we're not gonna say you were getting money, because it's off the record. But
I was getting money though.
You were getting money?
Yeah, I was getting money.
From where?
I was Penn State. I was getting money from a memorabilia place. I'm not gonna say where it was.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you don't gotta name them.
From there,
from Penn State.
Yeah, they was giving me like 500, and it gets passed down. It's legacy. Like LeVar Arrington, Penn State greats have gone through this guy to get money. So he gives you like 500 pictures to sign. He gives you like 500 pictures to sign, right?
All right.
You sign the pictures, he gives you like $2,500. You just keep doing that.
Why would you not do that?
Right. So
I would sign 1 million pictures for.
Come on.
Like
Come
what?
on, bro.
All right.
At USC, they had USC handshakes after the game from those same boosters you were talking about. Boosters are people who either who they are alumni of the school or are on the board of the school,
right.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or just a booster, like a booster member. They fund money. They give money to the club for the lounge or the whatever
the practice facilities.
Practice facility, whatever.
They get you
bro.
new jerseys, new
exactly,
helmets or something, right?
Bro.
All right.
It's just that. So they had the handshakes after the game. You had a good game, you go over, you get a handshake, you might get $500 for the weekend.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, bro. As a college student, 19, 20 years old, like get $500. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, I'm 28 right now.
$5 is.
You give me 500. I'm excited until probably December. It's October right now. It's October 5th right now. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So wow, okay, all right. So you getting some type of hookups or whatever, right? Okay. So anyway, we talking about you. Obviously, now you're a professional, so you're not even in these schools or anything like that. But when does it kick in? Like, yo, I'm getting paid, because you're not getting paid $20 million a year. You're getting paid $400,000. But for someone like me or someone like you, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Absolutely, bro. And it didn't kick in. The signing bonus, they gave me 8. Uncle Sam took 3, so I took 5. I've seen 5 before.
5,000.
I've seen 5,000 before. So
what'd you spend that on?
I gave like 2 to my mom's. I spent mad shit on my son. Mad shit on me. Took the homie.
Shout out to Nico.
Yeah, shout out to Smeeks.
The baby boy.
Or shout out, bro. Love you. Call my son bro. That's crazy.
Listen, that's
probably low key.
That's the bro. Listen, that's the bro.
Listen,
understood.
He's gonna be 21 when I'm 42, so we still about to be getting active.
It's kind of crazy. So you from the Bronx, is what you're saying? You're somebody 28 gonna be 42. Yo, your mom's is probably 53. Yo, you from the Bronx, is what you're saying?
Chill.
Yo,
but,
okay.
I spent it on the homies like that, but it wasn't until I made the team and I saw the first paycheck. And this was like, okay, I'm getting bread.
So you got the first paycheck. Is this what you call it, like week 1 or week 2? Because I don't know when you get the week, paychecks of the NFL paychecks.
First week, everybody gets their paycheck first week. After that, it's bi-weekly. You get paid.
Oh yeah, okay.
So at that time, I was getting paid like 12 racks every week.
Every week. But you getting paid bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
So that's 24.
After taxes, it's looking like 24, 26.
Crazy.
After taxes.
After
every
taxes.
2 weeks.
All right. So how did your life change at that point? Going from, like just being a student with 0 income to being a athlete with 20,000, 25,000 every couple of weeks. Does your life actually change? Like, do eat at different places? Do you get another bigger apartment? Do you go buy a car? What happens?
That depends on the person.
We talking about you right now.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So what I did with mine and my experience is different than everybody else. So what I did with mine, I still have my Mazda 6 from my senior year of high school.
That's a good car.
You know what I'm saying? 06 Mazda 6. I still had that from high school, my senior year to the 8th or 9th game of my rookie year. Like I was still pushing that to the stadium, pulling up in my Mazda, hopping out. You know what I'm saying? Like it was whatever.
Okay.
I didn't really care. What I did want was a nice like living area. I knew I was a homebody. I knew I was a nigga that I like to stay home. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
So I wanted a good space to live in. So I got a cool condo for a good price. So I got that. I got my car like.
Oh, so you bought a crib?
No.
Oh,
rent,
condo?
But I'm just saying.
Oh, you rented a
Yeah,
condo. Okay.
I rent to buy.
No problem.
I would have bought if I stayed with the team longer, but whatever.
So again, you playing for the Redskins? So this is in Washington D.C.
This is in Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh
we
wait,
do nothing in D.C.
They do nothing. All right.
The team name is Washington, but we do nothing in D.C. Bro.
So the team is actually in Virginia area.
Practice facilities in Virginia.
What city? Maryland. What city is that?
The practice facility is in Ashburn, Virginia.
Ashburn,
Virginia.
All
Northern
right.
Virginia.
I'll tell you right now. Never heard of that.
West Bumblefuck.
No problem. All right.
Right
So
here,
you playing in Ashburn, Virginia. So you got yourself a nice apartment condo section going on over there. And you were on the Redskins for, was it 2 years? 3 years?
2 years credited, 3 years including the suspension.
Including the suspension.
Right.
All right. So you're on the Redskins. You're actually like out there playing. So you have your first year. How would you like, categorize your first year? How did that go?
Looking back on it, not what I wanted it to be. I stuck around, so that was cool because if you trash, they'll get rid of your ass. Like, you know what I mean? So I stuck around. So obviously, I was playing good enough to stay on the team.
Yes. So
successful for rookie year, I guess. Going into training camp 2015 for my second season, tear my ACL. So
going into training camp, that's like the preseason, right?
Preseason.
All right. So you tear your ACL. You out for the year. Like, it ain't you can't even practice. You can't do none of that. All right. So, at this point, you tear your ACL. What are you thinking that day? Like, when you go into whatever, the hospital, the doctor, what are you thinking about 2 months after that? Like, are you that like, yo, let me, like, get back into this?
That day,
like,
I'm thinking, am I going to get cut? Are they about to part ways with me? And what the fuck is about to happen? They didn't cut me.
They didn't cut me.
What you get when you're on IR, when you're a rookie, you get a reduced salary. So yeah. So that year I should have made, if I was healthy, I should have made $510,000 before taxes. I made $222.
Hold on. So you were supposed to get 500,
half a ticket,
$500,000,
half a ticket.
All right. You didn't get that. You got 220.
I think it was 222.
The 222 you're saying, is that pre-tax? Or that's what you actually got in your pocket? That's like what you got after taxes?
That was pre-tax.
Pre-tax. So are we talking about after taxes 222? That's probably like 130.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that they changed that up like that. I thought once you got injured, when you're a rookie, your injury salary is kind of different than what it is as a veteran, you would say?
Right. That's one of the options. They could settle with you. They could settle with you if they feel like you're not worth the rehab. Essentially, they'll settle with you. They'll give you however many racks.
Your whole thing?
100. Not the whole thing. No.
But they'll give you more than what you got? Is that what you say?
Not even, but they'll give you they'll give you over $100,000 to part ways. You know what I'm saying? You might get 150, 200,000 to part ways. And that'll be that. You know what I mean?
Got it.
You got to start fresh.
Got to do.
But they didn't do that with me.
So after your first year, you get hurt. You get hurt, and they say, "All right, we're gonna still give you X amount of dollars."
And you still
in hopes that you still on the team to come back.
Yeah.
So even though it's not the $500,000 that you were hoping to get, you got to be feeling kind of secure, kind of good. Like, all right, I'm still here.
Especially because
settlement.
Like this is the
on top of the settlement. Was 650? Was it
660?
660.
660.
The thing is, I keep forgetting how much that settlement was. Cause you didn't give me not $5, which is crazy. If you gave me 100 and say, "Yo, bro, I'm giving you 100," I got 600 for myself. I don't remember none of that. So just know that's why I keep. So you got 660.
660.
and
That's fine.
This is three knee injuries in.
Yeah.
And they still got that faith
Yes,
in you.
bro.
Knees is crazy.
Combine took 1 million MRIs and X-rays for
Right.
these motherfuckers. Like
Terrible.
slave shit, bro.
Right.
Like just picking at you. But yeah, so after 3 surgeries and shit like that, I'm still, the pockets are still looking all right.
Right.
After
Right.
after all the injuries and shit like that.
So you got Louis. You still wearing Louis V
No,
and Gucci?
No,
Well,
I
I
was
don't
never a
know.
designer type.
Oh, okay.
I don't think y'all ever seen me in designer.
Well, we were gonna get into that, but I didn't know. I don't know how it is. Like personally, I just feel like if I was making 500,000 or if I was getting 200,000, you know, I might be wearing Gucci and Louis.
I was
I
buying
don't
wild
know.
streetwear, so I was buying like
Streetwear.
like rare Supreme, rare Babe, rare. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Okay, so this is we know you got the Third Eye Vintage
Yeah.
kind of thing that was going on, little company. Or you still got it going on.
I still love vintage. I don't have it going on right now. I had to take it, put it in the back pocket, but it'll get back rocking again.
So it was like a vintage store, vintage shop. What you?
Yeah, I had an online space where I was selling, reselling, buying, trading clothes.
I feel like that's something that people care about right now. You probably gotta get your digital
so.
camera, get your iPhone
Low-key,
camera
bro.
going.
Low key, and I don't want to, speak about what we spoke about off camera, but you gave me a great idea for a mobile shop. And I thought that was a crazy idea, bro. But the space I was at my life at the time, like it just wasn't. It couldn't come into fruition. But
Sure.
you gave me a crazy idea. I still want to do that idea. So, like you said, there's still a space for that vintage and that buy sell trade type aspect of clothing and consumership, like, you know what I mean? So,
Sure.
like I said, it's in the back pocket. I didn't give it up. It's in the back pocket.
So that's in the back pocket. We're gonna keep the back pocket. We'll get back into that in 3-5 minutes. All right.
Sure.
So still just talking about your professional football career, right? So you get injured, you get the settlement. They give you a couple $100,000, which is crazy. We say that passively. You get a couple $100,000, right?
Yeah.
So you get that. Do you get to a point where you feel like, all right, man, maybe I'm done? Or like, have you even felt that to this point?
Yeah. The getting the money and being injured was a gift and a curse because of the time it came. It was a gift because I've never seen that type of money before, ever. $660,000, even when I signed.
You got that on one, like it was one payment.
One check, bro.
So you logged into your Chase bank account. Yesterday you had $200. Today you log in, you like, whoa,
So what
I got 600,000.
So
First of all, I'm throwing my phone across the room.
So what I had to do, I had to get an investment banking account. So I had to get like a Fidelity account. So I got the Fidelity, and then the financial advisor had that account. He would.
So you had to give somebody a heads up, like, listen, listen.
The bag is on the way.
The bag is on the way.
New bag alert.
At that point,
You had to.
When you
It's
never
crazy.
see that type of money, you have to have somebody in your corner that's seen that type of money to help you advise that type of money.
I'm
right?
spending it. Honestly,
I'm blowing it.
I'm spending it.
I'm blowing this money.
I could think of so many things I'm buying with that money.
Come on, bro. So, that money comes in. I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, I can't believe this shit. Like, I took a picture of the check, whatever. Saved
Never
it.
saw that picture. Send it.
Still don't got it. Don't got it anymore. But
Okay.
it was. I took a picture at the time. It was one of those type things.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
trophy type shit.
Can understand that.
Yeah.
All right. So So you're saying why you collect that money but you're not playing? This is kind of like a, man, I might be done kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like I've never had a season-ending injury. You know what I'm saying? Like an injury of this magnitude, like it never happened.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a space where I don't really know how to move. Like
right.
I don't really know how to conduct myself.
But at this point where you have this injury, because obviously you've had injuries in the past, just being an athlete of your level, are you still going through physical therapy? Are you like, you know, trying to rehab this injury? Or are you like, it's over?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's over, bro. Because you gotta understand, like I said, I never had this type of injury, and I'm in the pro. Like in the pros, I know what type of cutthroat shit these niggas be on. I understand the type of games they play.
They can only have 53.
Only 53, bro.
Which is crazy, because 53 just sounds like a lot of people.
It's just a lot of people, but then it's not.
They gotta cut it down.
Yeah, they gotta cut it down. So, I'm thinking, like, there's no way, like, yeah, they kept me, but there's no way, like, there's other
people that might be ahead of you, kind of thing.
Bro. You know what I mean?
I got it.
So that's what's going through my head.
Okay.
And it's fucking my mental up at this time.
I can certainly see that. Yeah. I don't know exactly what you were going through, but I can certainly see that. Yeah. But all right. So you get to that point, right? We know you had 1 or 2 suspensions that were due to, you know, violations of NFL stuff, that kind of thing, right?
And stuff like that.
Policies and stuff like that, right? So why, obviously you were going through those violations, those penalties, suspensions. Were you waiting to like kind of get off of them and get back in, or like what is your mind going on with that?
So I get in trouble like as soon as I get into the NFL. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Pardon me.
It's my kind of guy.
That's why
listen, if you're gonna get in trouble, you get in trouble immediately.
Yeah, that's why we boys. But I get in trouble. Long story short, I didn't know a diluted test, which is when your piss is too clear. I didn't know that it counted as a fail as well, right? Okay. So I get a diluted test. My first test as a rookie. In the NFL, you get 1 test for marijuana. You pass that test, you could smoke all year into the next test.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I get that test. I know I'm good. I know I'm good. My piss was wild clear. I'm looking at it like, right. I'm good. Go back home. That was right before the summer break. I go back home after OTAs. I'm blowing crazy. Right. I'm smoking crazy, bro. Get a letter in the mail. My sister sends it to me. I'm in Los Angeles. She's in Connecticut. She sends me or Virginia. She's in, because my sister lives with me. I let her live with me my rookie season. You know what I mean? She sends me a letter. It's like, your test was diluted. Right. A diluted test counts as a negative.
As a fail.
As a fail. You're going to have to piss again.
Crazy.
You're going to have to piss again. Right. By this time, I'm dirty as shit. Right. You know, so I piss again. I'm dirty as shit. They put me in the program. That's what it's called. Yep. And now I'm getting tested 4 times a month. 4 times a month, bro. So when I travel, I gotta call them. You know what I'm saying? Let them know where I'm going. Give them my address I'm gonna be at, so they can have somebody pull up to test me. I'm on Thanksgiving break. My grandmother and shit.
And they right outside.
They right outside. My grandmother got to see me get drug tested and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It fucked me up that whole year, bro. And yeah, it was my fault. But they got to be more clear with their policies and you know, rules and regulations. Which I hope they are now. You know, I'm 2 years removed from the league, so I don't know what type of shit is going on now. But at the time, that's why I first got tested. So
what type of communications were you getting from the team at that point? Because I'm sure like the league knows. Your first fail, they don't even tell the coaches. The trainers know, the team doctors know, but of course somebody always speaks. Right. So word gets to them eventually.
You know what I mean? But it's not a problem. Right. It's not to the public.
Because listen,
you guys didn't know unless I told y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but let's keep it stacked. Like, coaches know.
Yeah. Like, no, they do. I know that, but it's not. They can't say anything to you under conditions. They can't say anything to you until your second time you get in trouble. So I get in trouble a second time from missing the test. a missed test is a fail as well. You know what I mean? So I didn't update my address. Just traveling, going to see one of my homeboys.
Right.
Like, just forgot to tell him, hey, we're outside your house. Like,
right. And you weren't there.
Let us in, and I wasn't there. Boom, that's a fail.
Fail.
So I get fined. That was my first fine. I get fined like 1 or 2 game checks. So I'm like, wow, this is real. This is real.
Jeez.
This is real. So that happens again. You know, just living reckless.
Right.
You know, most of this shit was on me. You know, trying to beat the system. Like the NFL system is unbeatable. Like, don't try to beat this shit.
Right.
It's a dub.
It's there for a reason.
It's there for a reason. So I try to beat it again. Updating my address, giving them locations though I thought they wouldn't come check and shit like that, and then they pulled up. Gave them a location in Canada. I never thought they when we were in Toronto, they didn't pull up on it. They didn't pull up on me once, bro. Not once.
Not one time.
So I used it again. They pulled up on me. So now they suspend me for the whole month of December. So every check in December I missed. So out of that 222,000, I think I missed 140 of it. Out of fines. So, my second season, although it was credited, although it's on my resume, although it'll be on my pension and 401k, probably my worst year in my football career ever, bro. You know, just for how shit went.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what it was, man.
Gotcha. So, I mean, the NFL career obviously wasn't as decorated as anybody would hope that it would be. Yeah. But you got there. You know what I mean?
Dream come true, bro.
Yeah. Obviously, there's people who just wish that they could get there, and they can't even get to that point because it's not easy. You know what I mean? Right. So how someone handled it when they got there is, you know, obviously another level. But specifically, you played for 2 years. That kind of unfolded the way that it did. And then you ended up playing, not even for another team. You played a whole nother sport. Whole nother sport.
In a whole nother country.
A whole nother country. Not even, a whole nother hemisphere, right? So you played for the Washington Redskins, and then that ended the way it did. And you ended up playing in Australia for the... Let me get the pronunciation right. Is the Ipswich Jets.
Yeah.
You played rugby there, right? Now, I'd imagine you didn't play running back. Well, what did you even do over there?
I worked. I had a regular 9 to 5, bro. On top of the rugby, so I would work. I had my construction.
What?
Yeah,
in Australia, you had another job?
Absolutely.
Well, when you say absolutely, I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah. I had no idea that you were doing any of that.
Shit.
Wow.
To be honest, y'all, I was low-key embarrassed. I was embarrassed.
First of all, I wouldn't. I can understand that because you were at many people might understand it's like a high level of playing the NFL.
At the time, not now. But I laugh about this.
That's
shit
a story for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, even my job, I got stories from my job today, and I don't even do any kind of sports. Right. But so you were in Australia, and you had while you were on this, you were on the roster for a professional rugby team, right? You had another job?
Yeah, because there's, I guess it was. I can't say it was semi-pro. It was semi-pro.
Okay.
It was semi-pro.
Right.
So they still get what, $2,000 a game, but it's not anything to live off of.
$2,000 a game is not? How many games you play a week?
It's 20 games a season.
20 games
40 bands.
So you're 40 for the year?
Yeah.
Listen, that's you middle class. 40,000 a year?
40?
I'm telling you right now. That's not a ton of money by any means, but like that's you know, I don't know if it's
but
like
okay,
specific.
so 40 bands Australian money.
Australian money. All right. That's
American
what
dollars.
they're talking about. Right.
American dollars are like 75 cents to the dollar. So
got it.
It was less than I would.
You talking about $1,500 ish?
ish.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
ish.
So it's not the same type of numbers don't pan out. So I had to get a regular 9 to 5. So I worked construction, you know what I'm saying? I did that. So I'm doing construction from
It's crazy.
8 to 3, 8 to
fire,
3:30. Then I'm going,
honestly.
yeah, I got to do what I got to do. And I'm going to rugby practice, you know what I'm saying? Thing about this is I was a little too transparent into my outside plans. I told them that I wanted to still play in the NFL.
Right.
That I was still trying to play in the NFL. So I think they took that as I wasn't dedicated to the team.
Right.
And so I didn't get that much burn. I wasn't trash. I can tell you right now. I can look at. I
Listen,
promise
you
y'all,
sure?
whoever
I remember
my
you
son
scored
was-
your first
Nah, first of all, I'm gonna need you to
First
send me a video. I know your first touch or whatever. You had a. I don't even. Is it a touchdown? What do they call it? A goal?
It's a try.
A try?
It's called a try.
So you out there trying?
I was out there trying.
It's not it.
It's not
No,
it.
it's
It's
not
I
it.
did.
It's not it.
That's why I
Right,
did.
right.
Yeah, I did. So
No,
I,
that's fire
I
though.
spent 4 months out there.
Because I don't know if anyone else had this experience. So that's fire, honestly.
Bro, I was trying to do whatever I could to get a check. You know
Listen,
what I
if somebody told me to go to Yugoslavia and be a fencer or do like
mean? And get 40 bears.
be a if I had to like drive a canoe
Yeah.
or something, listen, when do I fly out there?
Yeah, nah,
You know what I'm
word.
saying? So I respect it 100% that you just did what you had to do. That's cool.
And so now I have that, you know, it's crazy. The chairman of the team is now marrying my mother-in-law. So
Well,
we had that.
rewind
Yeah,
that back.
bro.
Don't just keep going.
My
Rewind that back.
mother-in-law came out to Australia to visit me. Or my soon-to-be mother-in-law came out there to visit me. Stayed at the chairman's house of the team.
All right.
He opened up his house for me and, you know, my extended family, shit like that. They hit it off. End of the day, they hit it off.
Hit it off like how?
Yo, chill.
Nah, you said hit it off.
They
They
hit
hit
it
what
off.
off?
Emotionally. They had a connection where they felt like they were feeling each other.
Emotionally.
And he proposed about a month later.
I know what that feels like. Heard you.
Heard me.
I heard
So-
you. Wow. Okay.
So
later is
certain
crazy.
things happen.
Love is in the air for real. For
The
real.
love is
For
in the
real.
air for real. So,
Speaking of, you got a something
Fiancé.
coming up soon?
yeah, my wedding is February
Your
10th.
wedding is February
Absolutely,
10th. Okay.
yes. Tying the knot.
Now, first of all, shout out to you. I can tell you right now, myself and my fiance, we cannot wait for that wedding.
I'm
This
so
is
happy
in
y'all
New
can make it.
Orleans.
New Orleans.
We cannot wait.
I'm so happy y'all can make it, bro.
we got engaged not too long ago, about two
Yes, yes.
months and some
Congratulations
change
to
ago.
y'all.
Thank you.
You already.
So we're just looking all over our places and everything. So we're gonna go
Venue
to
talk.
yes, we're talking about venues and everything like that. So obviously, you know, you're going through some exciting times in your life right now after football.
Yeah.
Okay, and the life after football obviously included rugby, which is honestly it's kind of crazy because nobody would see that coming.
Yeah, it was wild.
I don't know if you would ask your college coach or your other coach, you know, like your high school coach, if hey, would you ever see me playing rugby?
Yeah,
If
never
either
in
of
a
them would
million
be able to
years.
see that.
Yeah, never in a
So-
million years.
That's cool. That's
Thanks,
cool
bro.
that you were
Appreciate
able
you.
to get there.
Appreciate you.
So I guess just looking back at it, right? Because you played like basketball, you know, when you were younger. I don't know if a little,
Yeah.
little oh wow, you got your boys laughing and stuff like
Because
that.
you know I'm not that crazy at
Wow.
basketball. Yeah.
So you playing a little bit of other sports and stuff like that. But you ended up playing rugby. Did you ever wish like, man, I wish I played rugby earlier?
No.
So you were just like, yo, let me play this rugby for right now, but this
It
is
was
for
the
right
check,
now.
bro. It was for the check.
Wow.
It was for the check. It wasn't for the love of it. They know I didn't love it. I know I didn't love it. It was for the check. But we were trying to help each other out. I felt I could help their team.
Sure.
They felt they could put some money in my pocket. So it was... I thought we had to understand it, but it didn't end up working out in the long run. But I had a good 4 months out there. And, you know, I appreciate it. I had some good connections. I'll always be able to go back to Australia and have a place to stay and stuff like that. So
Can you set that up for me too? Because I'm
Absolutely.
not trying to pay for a hotel in
no
Australia.
bullshit. Absolutely, bro.
Thanght you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. All right. So
Australia is good.
All right.
Australia is very good.
It is. It's very good. Listen, shout out.
Very good.
It's very good out
Australia
there.
is nice.
Absolutely.
This is nice. It seems like a nice place. So really, at this point, you know, your professional athletic career is winding down to an end. And again, you were what, 26 now?
I'm 26. Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of getting to an end, and honestly, like everybody knows the NFL specifically, the average career there is
Not for long.
notoriously short.
Especially
Not for long.
That's what I call the NFL. Not for long.
Not for long.
Not for
It's
long.
2,
Not a
maybe
job.
3 years, right?
Not
So
for
people hope that they get to their second contract. All right. So
Right.
you got through a couple of years in the NFL.
Yeah.
Got to the playing in Australia, playing some rugby, which is still crazy,
Wow,
right?
bro. Wow, yeah.
But
Bugging.
at any point, did you start thinking about, even it could have been in college or before that, like, what am I gonna do? Either if I don't make it to the NFL, or if I what's coming after that?
Well, that's brings me to where I am now. To where I was bullshitting in school. Cause I didn't finish. I didn't get my degree.
But you did 2 years at Penn State.
Right, and I lost credits. Granted, I lost credits. I
Why
lost a
you
whole
lost?
bunch of credits.
transferring over.
Transferring over the curriculum.
Oh.
The curriculum didn't add up. I
Got
went from
it.
a state school to a private school.
Got it.
So the curriculum didn't add up. So I lost a whole bunch of credits. So I'm starting behind the 8 ball anyway. But I was bullshitting. I could have finished.
Sure.
I didn't. You
Got
know what
it.
I mean? So I'm 4 classes away from getting my degree. I need to finish that, but I'm feeling that. I'm
4
feeling,
credits?
Yeah, I'm 4 credits. 4 classes away.
4 classes.
4 classes. 4 classes. So 16 credits.
Got it.
Yeah, so
All right.
16 credits away from getting my degree, but I'm feeling that now in my job search and life after football. I'm feeling not having my degree. I'm feeling it, and it sucks. You know what I mean? But the NFL player engagement program, they have a great program that I'm going through right now. Player development is really helping with the transition from football to the next chapter in your life.
So this player engagement program,
Yeah.
is it designed to help people like yourself
Yeah.
that maybe didn't get a degree, or what is this
Not
player
only-
engagement
not
program?
only people who didn't get a degree, even those who got a degree that played 10 years in the league that are only 34, 35
Yeah,
years
because
old.
you're not old.
You know what I'm saying?
You're even if you play a long career, like 10 years is a long career in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
10 years. So you think about playing in 10 years.
But you hop in
You
when you're
graduate when you're
21.
22, 21. So now you're 32, right? And you're quote unquote retired,
Right.
Right. So you're 32. You're kind of trying to figure out what's going on.
Come on. You trying to figure out what's coming on. You haven't been in this aspect of life before. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit is handed to you. You don't have to do a lot of shit for yourself when you're playing in the NFL. So many things are given to you, and you expect so many things that when you get into the real fucking world, you don't know how to get down. You know what I'm saying? So this program is helping with resume building, interview practice, like getting you ready for the next step. And it has to start not with the higher ups. It starts with the little people, and I don't want to call them little people, but it's a little program in the brand of the NFL.
Sure.
Like it's a small program.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate the little people that are helping us, people that are making a transition from football to real life.
Got it. So you say you're transitioning from football to real life, or sports to real life. Do you have like goals, aspirations as to like where you would like to be?
Yeah.
After all of this?
Yeah. So I always told myself, when I went undrafted, after I went undrafted, I was like, if this shit don't work out, I'm gonna be a firefighter. I'm gonna get a city job, get city benefits, city pension, like.
Respect it.
After that, after being in a league or having a job where you get paid like 6 figures, it really don't get no better than a city job. Like, you know what I mean? So, it takes me to where I am now. I'm finishing up my EMT program. I already got approved for the next step of the firefighter shit. So
What's in LA?
in Los Angeles. Yeah, I
Okay.
applied for LAFD, which is Los Angeles City, and then I applied for the county as well. So after I finish my EMT program, I'll be qualified to be a firefighter. So I can feel this void of, you know, I have I have a space to feel, like, from being in trouble. You know what I mean? I feel what God set me up for, I fucked it up a little bit in a sense.
What did you feel like He set you up for?
From getting in trouble. You know, I can control. You got to control what you can control.
Sure.
And I didn't. You know,
okay.
I was living reckless or ruthless or whatever words you want to use. I was living that at that time, and that's why I was getting in trouble. Being, you know, unaccountable for what I was doing. But I feel like saving people. You know, I saw somebody, not to bring the podcast to this type of place, but I saw somebody die recently from an accident. A
car accident?
Yeah, I saw somebody get hit in the road, and I never seen a body fly so far up in the air, but all I wanted to do was, like, help that person. Like, I couldn't not look away. You know, I parked my car, I was just getting out of my car, and I see a person get hit by, you know, a 60 mile per hour vehicle and go up in the air, and it's crazy, and the first thing I want to do is help them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to run, I don't want to do anything. I want to help them. So I feel like with this firefighter thing, I'm feeling this void of my purpose, you know? So yeah, man, you know, I call football an experience, not a career, because even when you retire at 40 years old, in the spectrum of life, you're still so fucking young.
You're very young. You literally smack in the middle. Even if you make it to 40, which nobody makes it to 40.
You're not even going through a midlife crisis
like
yet.
Tom Brady might make it to 40. But other people, you might make it to 33. And you're lucky, right?
You're lucky.
If you play 10 years,
you're
right?
lucky, bro.
So, like,
lucky if you play 5.
For a regular, quote-unquote regular NFL person, you play 10 years, you're making it to 22. I mean, 32.
32.
Excuse me.
And you got bread.
And you got some money in your pocket.
Yeah. But still, it's hard. It's hard because
of course it is. Yeah. Of course it is. Yeah. Because I mean, you're young and you're getting a lot of money, and you don't even know how to manage that kind of money.
Right.
You know, nobody taught you how to do all that.
Right.
Okay. So I mean, you got to this point in your life. You played a couple of years NFL. You played over in Australia. You played, rugby over there. And then you kind of got into some other things. You had the vintage store that was very much important to you.
Yeah.
You also
had
had
a lot of bread in that shit.
What's that?
I put a lot of money in that.
A lot of money in that. Okay, and a lot of interest, a lot of time is even more important. You also did some things with some coaching. You know, maybe coaching some younger kids. I don't know if they was in high school, that kind of thing. And then just moving forward. Kind of what drew your interest when you were done? When you figured like, I'm kind of done with this football playing. What drove you?
My son, bro. Me and his mom aren't together, but he was there with me when I was in the league. Although he was young, he doesn't remember the first game he went to. You know what I mean? Which is fine.
How old is Nico right now?
He'll be 5 in November.
5.
Yeah. So he was 2 the first game he went to. You know what I mean? So shit. A year and something the first game he went to, you know what I mean? So he doesn't remember it, but the fact I had those memories, I have those moments, so that's what drove me. Now that's what's driving me now, my son. You know what I mean? Although he was there for the football career, he doesn't remember it. So what I do now is what he's gonna remember his father for. You know what I mean? So
he has more consciousness.
Way more sense of what's going on. Way more awareness of shit. He knows how to lie. Like, you know what I mean? Just
listen.
Already,
we be lying. We be lying sometimes,
habitually.
Right? Habitually, right? We be lying, right?
OD.
Yeah, right.
So he's what drives me, man. My soon-to-be wife drives me.
Shout out Jess.
She has an amazing job.
Shout out Jess one more time.
Works for our alma mater. She works for USC. So you know what I mean. She drives me. My mother, of course, my father, my siblings, my friends. So many people are doing so many great things in life that drive me, bro. There's no way I can be in a place of sunkenness. You know what I mean? There's no way. The people around me can't allow me to be that.
So I know you got the sky blue hat on
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Shout out Sky Blue, man.
What's all that?
So shout out Reggie Moore. Reggie Moore was a kid out of Seattle. Played hoop. Went to Washington State. Got kicked out. Started Sky Blue when he was at Washington State hooping. Had mutual friends and we linked up together. Had the same vision. I love his eye for clothing and ideas and stuff like that, so we built on that type of level, and he brought me onto the team, and that's what we're doing. Sky Blue, Such Is Life. We throwing up all type of shockers and stuff like that. You feel me? Yeah, you know me?
Well, shocker, I know usually that's the shocker.
Shocker.
It's a shocker, right?
Shocker.
That's a shocker.
Yeah,
Okay.
Which means hang loose, like just you know, it's good vibes. You know what I mean? So we got that going on. SkyBlueCollective.com. Mad merch. We got a blog, shit like that, website. So check it out. So that's what we're getting into now. Just off the, you know, just hustling. We doing that, making clothes, shit like that. But like I said, I'm doing my EMT thing. I'm doing my firefighter thing. So just trying to make a difference, man. Trying to make a difference.
So, but you staying out there? You pretty much out in LA. That's where you're gonna live out, right?
I'm based in LA now. I got a LA ID now. I wear Vans and shit now.
Wow. Nah, I saw you wearing Vans for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Brian got his first pair of Vans like a month ago, and I saw him wear. Oh, dude, you gonna shake your head?
I mean, it wasn't a month ago.
Listen, Brian got his first pair of Vans like let's say it was a month ago. It was 6 weeks ago, right? Brian got his first pair of Vans. Listen, he was wearing his Vans every day.
That's a fact.
Every day?
That's why they said dirty. I still hit my shit with the Clorox wipes on the bottom.
Nah, see listen.
Clorox wipes.
Nah, my Vans all in the box. I want to make sure that they look dirty, so it look like I be out here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
skateboarding and all type of shit.
Yeah, I used to skateboard on my shit. I used to. It was a couple years ago. Nah. Round two gave me 200 for that deck. Round two gave me 200 for that, the CNN deck. But listen, listen. I'm a Capone Noriega fan. I'm not going to shout no lyrics out right now because they're going to ask me for publishing. But listen, I know all the lyrics to the album.
Yeah, it was only right.
I appreciate it, but no, I gave that deck up. I got a Bape hoodie for that. I was wearing that Bape hoodie yesterday too. I'm not even gonna lie. So no problem. So I know, like I said, you were doing some coaching things. You had your venture store that was popping off, the Sky Blue, everything like that. But I guess just within the vintage world, 'cause I know you put a lot of time, a lot of money into that, like you were saying. Are there any like holy grail pieces that you could speak on? Do you got like a crazy throwback, you know what I mean, Tupac, or what you got going on there?
I got like a top 8 of shirts I kept. I sold most of my shit, but I was really big into rap tees, so like 90s rap tees, bootleg rap tees, you know what I'm saying, that they would sell at the concerts and shit like that.
So top 8, you talking about like Silk the Shocker?
I got a Silk, I got a Master P, I got a Biggie, I got a Pac,
I was joking because Silk the Shocker was trash.
Not in the rap tee world though.
In the rap tee world, it was hard to find.
No Limit shirts.
Right, it was hard to find.
So I do have a No Limit shirt with Silk on it, Master P on it.
I like that.
I got 2 Master P shirts. I got 3 Hove shirts. It's my favorite rapper.
Hove your favorite rapper?
Hove is my favorite rapper.
All right, so question.
Yeah.
Right? You was a football player, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, not even talking about 11 on 11, a full-on game, right? We talking about like just a whole street fight. Jay-Z gotta fight Nas.
Gotta fight Nas?
Fight Nas, fist fight, no gloves, because you know they were talking about doing a boxing match.
Yeah,
we're not talking about a boxing match. We're talking about a fist fight.
Tabo Ho.
Who you think is winning that fight?
Hove.
Hove got the reach and the height.
Hove.
Nas like 5'8", right?
And Hove had the scrap for losing them 92 bricks.
He has to.
Yo,
If he around for that,
lost 92 bricks had to fall back.
if he around,
What's
yeah,
that say?
yep, lost 92 bricks, had to fall
Had to
back.
fall back. All right, I hear you.
Come
I hear
on.
you.
But yeah, I got Hov.
You got
I got
home.
Hov.
This in a fist fight. All right.
Yeah.
Second question. You got Hove versus Nas, but you playing flag football. This is like on a Sunday morning. You got a team. You don't know who's on the team, but you got it's 7-on-7. You got 6.
I got Esco, bro.
You got 6. You got to pick up. The last 2 is between Hove and Nas.
All
There's a
right.
split.
Do I
There's
have
a-
a quarterback?
There's a flick
Bro,
of Hov throwing a football.
don't even
I need these things.
Matt Barkley is your quarterback.
Well, y'all winning regardless. There's a picture of Hov throwing a football.
Nah, I want to hear. Look, Brian.
I got
We,
Esco
Brian,
there.
we could talk about this anytime.
I got
we got
Esco.
Silas one
I got
time.
Esco.
You got Esco.
I got
So
Esco.
you picking up? Wow. So how you gonna explain? Because after the game, when y'all
Hov,
dapping each other up, and you dapping up Hove, and Hove is like, "Wow, that's crazy. You ain't pick me."
Because then I'm going to ask how many tugs he had.
Wow,
Bro,
And then,
that's crazy.
yo!
Wow.
That's why I'm not picking Hov, buddy.
you never seen this picture before?
That's why I'm
Wow,
not picking
yeah, his
Hov.
left
And he's
hand
a
is
Cowboys
crazy.
fan.
I'm not gonna lie.
And he's a
Y'all
Cowboys
seen
fan.
that?
And we grew up Giants fans.
It's crazy.
Like, there's no way I'm rocking with Hov with football, bro. You can sign me to Rock Nation Sports. bro.
Right.
Other than that,
That's not right. It's not right,
It's not
bro.
right. It
Well,
is.
shit. We appreciate you coming through, bro.
Man, love
Yeah,
y'all,
man. I
Appreciate
mean,
this.
we got through all of this.
Peace
We
and love.
know we're not gonna leave
Can
this
we
out.
be a
You
part
got,
2?
I mean, of course.
All
Listen,
right,
you got
yeah.
anything coming up? You want to bring to this podcast?
I
We
do.
gonna do this.
I do.
My man Pop is right here.
Hey.
He gonna set up the studio time.
Yeah.
He
You
give me
know-
free studio time, right? Right, Pop? Nah, he don't give me free.
Pop,
studio
yo.
time.
We need.
Right? I set it.
We shout it out. We shout it out.
I set it on camera so he thought he was
shout
gonna
out.
get
You
caught.
gotta acknowledge it.
But you gotta acknowledge it, right? But nah, listen. We know you got a lot of stuff going on. Wedding's coming up.
Wedding's
We're
coming
not
up.
gonna leave
Biggest
that
thing.
up again.
Biggest thing.
Jess,
Yes.
shout out
We
to
love
Jess.
you, bro.
We cannot wait. Babe, come over here.
Word.
Come on.
Rocket.
Babe, come over here
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Rocket. Look, they matching human races.
Yeah. Listen, it was one
I've
human
never seen a
race.
jiggier
So,
couple.
listen, we got the wedding coming up. I cannot tell you, we are very excited
Very
you, bro.
excited.
to go to this wedding,
Thank
right?
you, bro.
You got any crazy stuff going on? Like, should I not bring, like, are you gonna give us free shoes or like? I
No,
don't
there's
know.
gonna be. There might be so many things, bro. I can't really get into it right now. But we got a bar tour on Friday. I really hope y'all are there for. The
The
women-
wedding is the 10th, right?
The wedding is Sunday. So
So we
we
were
hope y'all get it.
Yes.
we were planning on
Yeah.
getting there Friday to the Monday.
that's beautiful.
That was the plan,
That's
but anything could
beautiful.
change. We didn't book it
That's
yet.
beautiful, bro.
All right,
we got
Friday to
that. We
Monday.
got the Friday the bar tour. We're going crazy. That's all I want to say right now. That's all I want to say.
I like that a lot.
We got we're gonna have videos for the recap and everything. Like that's all I want to say. We got the bar tour. Then Saturday we got the rehearsal dinner, everything like that. And Sunday is
it's lit.
jumping the broom, bro.
Yeah, man. On top of that, I mean, how's Nico doing? I feel like I haven't seen him since last year, maybe
know,
like a
he
year and
pulled
a
up at
half.
the
I feel like he
hospital.
got to be like a good 5'10" right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Good 5'10".
I don't know. You gotta tell me.
He about to be 5 years
He's
old.
grown, bro. He's grown from the last time you seen him. And to everybody that doesn't know, you don't know. He drove 40 minutes when my son was in the hospital. My son had a crazy pneumonia, had a fever and everything, and Pat came down, drove 45 minutes down, got him a Yoshi backpack and everything, man. It was crazy, man. It was a dope. He loved it. He still has a backpack, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you and want to thank you for that. But he's doing well, you know, bad as shit, but he's a good kid, man. Super smart. Not that athletic yet, very uncoordinated, but
I like that. That's like
brain-
myself. You know what I'm
So
saying?
he sound like Hove right now.
like Jay.
Wow, you're like, that's why you big home on your
He
team.
got bars. I'm
Wow.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
terrible.
He got bars,
Okay.
bro. Yeah. I'm
All
not
right.
picking him for football.
Ta.
No doubt, no doubt.
But yeah, you
Ha
know,
ha.
We appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah,
You know, we
always,
shouted out a couple of the homies
Yeah, man.
from the Palace. Just know when y'all see them, come holler at us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, that'll be there for sure.
We're gonna
We
need
might,
a lot
we
of
might,
those
we
people
might
coming.
have to have a USC episode.
Nah.
Yes.
Whole bunch of cats.
Shit.
I'm gonna bring everybody.
Oh.
I'm gonna bring everybody. Whoever
I
y'all
like
are.
that.
It's all love. You
Yes.
already know.
I
Well,
like
again,
that a
man,
lot.
Come on, man.
I like that a
Come on,
lot.
man.
We appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate you
Very much.
We
This,
about to get faded.
Off camera.
off
Oh.
camera. It's time. This
All
time.
right.
This
Yeah,
time.
we're gonna get
This
fade passes. I'm gonna want them.
Yeah, we
fade
running
passes.
fades.
We about to get bodies.
Throwing fades.
But yeah, you know it's Brian Ford.
Passes. Oh yeah, passes.
Patrick Odedina. This is D1 Bound
With a Y,
Podcast.
not an I.
Shout
With a Y.
out. Shout out to Silas Red.
Appreciate you.
Love you, bro.
Love, bro. You already.
Yes. Episode 2 in the books.
Rap.